first late night live. I was going to wait till tomorrow because, Mama got busy and some things happened. But I was like, you know what? It's 7 p.m. on the West Coast. So if the West Coast is still up, let's do it. And you know what? You guys should be up anyway. It's only Thursday. Oh, it's 9 on the West Coast? Oh, it's 9. It's 9 on the West Coast. Okay, that's still early. And we're adults. Adults are up at midnight. Put the kids to bed. They should be asleep anyway. Hi. Oh, what's that? That's my bedtime reminder. I'm telling y'all to wake up, and my phone is telling me it's time to go to bed. What's up, everybody? What's up? Late night reminder. The Peanut Gallery is here. Say hi, Peanut Gallery. Hey. Hey, Peanut Gallery. They'll be with us tonight.
Mama Star is part of the Peanut
Mama
Gallery.
Star is here. Big sis Toya Star is here.
Toya Star is here in the building, not the Peanut Gallery.
You're the Peanut Gallery.
Toya Star supporter.
Okay. Too much. Peanut Gallery will do.
MJ is here.
MJ Stroman is here. No, some people, you didn't. What happened was I went to get something to eat. I won't name the place because the food was terrible. And then I had to go run some errands. But I'm here now. I wasn't going to do it. I was like, you know what? Let me not do it. But then I was just like, somebody has to be up. Somebody has to be up. I'm glad you guys are here. Alicia said the baby is sleeping beside me. The baby is sleeping beside me. Let me go in the other room. He said, tell Aunt Nikki that I need my sleep. I'm only 2 months. Oh, hey, baby. Missy said 11 p.m. in Chicago. What a beautiful surprise. Nikki and the Star fan while I retwist my locks. What's up? Chef Pearl said the Peanut Gallery representing for the 99 and the 2000. That's right. Oh, hey, Miki W said, Nikki live. Love you, boo, but I got maybe 10 minutes before I'm out. It's after midnight. I understand. Shonda said, hey, Mama Star and Toya Store. Hey. I just wanted to try something new because we have like a lot of lives tomorrow. And I was like, I cannot put another live on tomorrow. I can't. We're already full tomorrow. We have
Green Bay full. Yes.
Peanut Gallery. It's still midnight here though, guys.
Well, pump it down.
You too, Peanut Gallery. We have 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Married at First Sight. Like, we got a lot of lives tomorrow, so I could not throw another live on the Barbie. So we're here. Black Lavender said, I'm up here for the mess. That's right. Candace said, my bedtime reminder goes off at 9:30. I'm old, child, but I'm going to hang as long as I can. That's right. Thank you all for being here. No, it wasn't Blaze Restaurant Page URL. I still haven't been. I still want to try it out, and I still haven't been to OLG. Okay, that's too much information. Thank you.
You're not talking. You just told me you had to run errands.
I did. I ran my errands, and I'm back.
They don't need to know that.
Yes, they do. The Star family. I don't keep nothing from them.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me know that. So I know what not to talk to you about.
Yes. I tell the Star family everything. They was here when Holly came over.
Nicole, don't bring that back up because I don't like that.
Holly was knocking like she was the police.
Nicole, okay, Nikki Star. Okay, Nikki Star TV, get back to your review.
I'm here. Somebody want to be on camera. She is talkative. Child, talkative. This is how you find out you're not the only star in the family. Get in front of a camera.
Well, Mommy is a star, so
Yes.
you get it from your mother.
Well, she's Mama Star.
Mama Star for sure is a star. Did they catch her on one?
Oh, thank you, Alicia. So we could be on YouTube with you all day.
Did they catch Mama Star on the Bradshaw Bunch?
Oh, guys, my mom made her TV debut. What was it, last night?
Yes.
Last night on the Bradshaw Bunch. She is, what time did she come on? Like,
Nicole, Bradshaw Bunch on E.
Bradshaw Bunch on ETV. She is around when they go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You'll see Mama Star there. She did a great job. think that I posted. If I didn't post it on my Instagram, I will.
Yeah, you should.
She killed it. She killed it. We're very proud of Mama Star. Santino, what's up? Say, should I go fix me a drink so I can cut up with you on the comments? Yes, Santino, get your drink. Get your drink. Get your drink. Or Nelia said, we up, Nikki. That's right. We up. And we up. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much.
Mom, that's not
Thank you.
them. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Peanut Gallery. That's enough. That's enough. That is enough.
Seriously, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Mama Star does not need to be around when you on your live. Seriously.
Oh no, Mama Star, actually, she is really good. I think it's you.
So I'm reprimanding her and you're condoning this?
No. But Mama Star is really good. I think you two together is a problem. So keep it cute. Keep it cute. Hey! Irene said, I have a lecture tomorrow to attend, but we ain't here. That's right. That's right. Get your is it Four Loko? What do people drink to stay up? Is it Four Loko?
Four Loko, that's when you kill somebody.
Get your Four Loko.
No, drink some water.
Four Loko, you kill somebody.
Thank you for supporting.
You never drank Four Loko
TV.
before. Okay.
Mom, thank you for supporting NikkiStar TV. Thank you, NikkiStar TV. Thank you for everything, all the support.
Would you shut up?
Thank you. Don't encourage them, L Boogie. Drewski said, okay, but how late you gonna have us up? It don't matter, we grown.
Yeah, Nikki, start the review because if people want to
We'll be here till 4. You want to go to sleep.
Hi, El Boogie.
My mom said, hey, El Boogie. Oh God, the peanut gallery. Anyway, that's enough.
Star Family Night.
Woo.
See what I told you? Anyway, so tonight, this morning, we're going to talk about all the mess going on in the housewife universe. I mean, it's just so much happening. Beverly Hills, Atlanta. Who else do I got information about? It's just Beverly Hills, Atlanta. Yeah, Beverly Hills and Atlanta right now. Jersey is quiet, thank God. I mean, it's just so much going on in the housewife universe. So we're going to talk about that first. Then I'm going to get into the quick recaps. And then I'm going to let you guys go to bed. And I'll see you tomorrow for some other reviews and lives and fun stuff. Yeah, but I just wanted to experiment, see if you guys were up. And you guys are here. So thank you so much for joining me. First, let's get into... let's knock Atlanta out. Atlanta had a lot going on, so let's knock Atlanta out. Let me get those now, right? Perfect. That'll load. Thank God. StreamYard normally acts crazy. So what we're going to talk about real quickly is NeNe airing out all these housewives and the housewives responding, and it's just a complete drama in Atlanta. But Atlanta always gives us drama, right? Even when they're not on the air. Speaking of Atlanta, who's excited about the new season? I wanted Marlo to finally get her peach, but not like this. Not like this. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not excited. I'm not excited. I think people who don't even like Portia have to admit that she was a huge part of that show. So not having Portia, I'm glad that Sheree is back. Sheree is back, but I just this cast right now, I feel like it's missing something, and I feel like it's missing a NeNe, but I don't know what can fix it. I just I hope they deliver. I hope they give us a great season, but I just don't see myself going up for what I see right now. We will see. We will see, but right now I just I can't, let me see if this will load. This won't load. Let me load it right here. But for right now, I just can't see myself going up for it. It just doesn't look interesting. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Atlanta is that girl. So we'll always tune in. They'll always get the views. I don't think we'll ever pull Real Housewives of New York on them viewership wise. I just really can't see it for that cast lineup. I don't know why, because I like everybody that they have. Light Skin Keisha is on there. Brown Skin Keisha is a friend of the show. We have Candy. We have Kenya coming back. Marlo has a peach now, and then it's Sheree. They're missing something. And it's like, I feel like we need a Cynthia. We need a Nene. Why was this the season to cut Cynthia if y'all didn't have anybody lined up? I don't know. I'm concerned. I really, really am concerned for Atlanta. But you know what? We will see. We will see. Let's play this one first.
During Greg's passing, every housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Kim Zolciak definitely have texted me since Greg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay.
I don't want to name drop, but I would expect her to.
Who?
I would expect her to.
No. A lot of people expect that. No. She didn't even come to the repast. She did come like a week later after everything was done. She came by my lounge. It's really hard to explain Housewives. It's almost like a dysfunctional family. But they all reached out. They all sent flowers or something. Actually, I was surprised because the first set of flowers I got was a bouquet from like all the housewives. Like they went in together. I'm like, why do y'all need to go in together and buy some damn flowers? Like, it's all of y'all work. You don't need to just, let's go in together and buy $200 worth of flowers. Like, you can spend your own $200. That's the way I've always been.
That was Nene. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk and the Jasmine brand. That was Nene. She was doing a radio interview and they were asking her questions about the housewives. And has anybody sent her anything and checked in on her since the passing of Greg. I will say this. I think it's too soon for her to be doing any kind of interviews. I just, I feel like she lost somebody that she really cared for and loved. And I just think that I don't know if she's in the right state of mind. You know what I mean? To be taking these interviews, talking about situations. A lot of times you're speaking from a place of hurt. So I don't know if she was in the right state of mind, but Claudia Jordan never misses an opportunity to get with Nene. She spoke about it on her show, Fox. So I think it's called The Tea Something. I know Funky Dineva and Star Johnson's ex-husband is on the panel with her as well. Shout out to Star Johnson's husband. I forgot your name, Boo, but
it's no secret that her and we're not cool. We're not friends. We're nothing. We're nothing. But out of respect for Greg, I did send condolences, and I never made it public. I didn't put it out there or post something or tell the world and whatever. But I did feel triggered when she posted, when I heard about this story. I'm like, hold up. No one owes you anything. I wouldn't have to spend $1. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your husband and paying respect to the man that we all got to know and love, who was so supportive and kind. Even when you were beefing with his wife, he was still a class act. And Nene, I can't tell you how to grieve because, again, I've never lost a husband. I've never lost a mate. I'm not married. I just have a boyfriend. But like, it's just such a tacky thing to did you Google how much the flowers cost? Like, the things that you said about other people, you're lucky that anyone even showed up for you, actually. And the fact that people rallied around you, I thought was a beautiful moment. So let's not ruin it.
Listen, that's her show. This is what she does. And she was asked about it. Do I think it was appropriate to speak on that? No. Here is why. She wasn't talking about you, right? But I get that that's her job and she has to comment on those sort of things. I just would not talk. I don't know. I don't think I would comment on somebody who's whatever kind of behavior they're doing when they've lost somebody, because I wouldn't think that they would be in the best state of mind. Do I agree with what Nene said about the housewives? It did seem petty, a little low, but again, I just don't know if she's in the right state of mind. Like when you're mourning, I'm not saying you should give people a pass, but I just think you shouldn't look too deep into what they're actually doing during this time of mourning. I could be wrong, but I just was like, I wouldn't jump on it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't jump on it. I wouldn't comment about it because is this really about me or about the pain that you're feeling from losing your partner? Like, what is it, right? So that's my take on it. But here is Nini's response. Let me see. Whew, StreamYard is making me work today, girl.
That if you ask me something, I'm very much a person that if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you. Yes, I am learning that every question does not need to be answered. I got that. But I want to say thank you to Tigger and V103 for having me on the show yesterday as a guest co-host. We had a super positive show. Obviously, any show that I do, they're going to ask me about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? They did. I spoke positive of everyone. Everyone. I have nothing negative to say. I don't. My time on the show was what it was. I have nothing to say about any person, nothing. I'm done talking about all of that. Okay? So, they asked me if the Real Housewives sent condolences or gifts or anything. Everywhere I go, people ask me this stuff, okay? I get asked this stuff every single day. I said 1,000,000 times. Every single person that I can think of, maybe one or two didn't, the entire franchise reached out. The black girls and the white girls, okay? Bravo reached out. That included Andy, all the executives, everyone reached out. The camera people on the ground, the production crew, everyone reached out. I was asked about gifts that were given. No, before I was asked about that, I was asked about if Cynthia attended Greg's repast. No, she didn't. I answered the question very honestly. I'm a very honest person. She did not attend. Did it bother me that she didn't attend? No. Seemed like it bothered other people because other people were always coming to me asking me about it. It didn't bother me. She showed up a week or so later at the lounge. Great. We had an amazing time. I think she said somewhere we had a great time. It was awkward for about 10 minutes and we had a great time. We had an amazing time. We laughed, we partied, we had a ball. It didn't really bother me. Okay? It just didn't. Greg's sickness was what it was. He understood.
And then I'm going to finish up with...
There are some people in the world who live in negativity consistently throughout their entire life. And then there's sometimes in life where you have people who are stalkers, who actually stalk your life. I was asked about if Cynthia attended Greg's repast. No, she didn't. I answered the question very honestly. I'm a very honest person. She did not attend. Did it bother me that she didn't attend? No. Seemed like it bothered other people. She showed up a week or so later at the lounge. Great. We had an amazing time. I was asked what gifts the Real Housewives gave. I did receive flowers from the Real Housewives cast. Kenya, Candy, Cynthia, Marlo. Had a conversation with Marlo about it when she came to me. Everybody had to chip in to get me a set of flowers. That moment when she and I were having the conversation.
I'm sorry. Listen, again, let that lady grieve in peace. It was very petty to be like, everybody had to chip in to get me some flowers. It's very black auntie. I will say that. It's very black auntie. You know that black auntie like at Christmas and, you know, the kids chip in or whatever and they get her a present and she thanks like everybody who got her the gift. And it's like, oh, a scarf. Thank you, Nikki, Melanie, Lauren, Tyrone, Aaron, and Sam. Thank you all for the scarf. Like that's what Nene is. She is that black auntie. Was it petty? Yes. Was it unnecessary? Yes. But honestly, she felt some way about all of these women who have money coming together to get her a gift for not gift, but to send her condolences flowers. I think she felt like they should have sent them to her individually. And I totally understand that. And I guess she thinks, you know, my husband passed, you know, let's just move forward and, you know, move beyond how you feel about me and actually give me or send me something from you and not from everybody together. I get that. But if you're not friends with these people, the fact that they even sent you something should mean something, right? Because they don't have to. Y'all not friends and y'all don't like each other. But again, I think she's grieving. I think she's being petty. And I think that if she was not in this state of mind, she probably wouldn't have made such a big deal about it, because she seems to have been minding her business for a while and doing very well at Lanithia Lounge. But yeah, I just don't feel like she was in the right state of mind, but she could be. I don't know. I just think that I would just give somebody going through grace, just ignore it and be like, you know what? You're speaking from pain. This does not concern me. Get well. Now, I will say I really appreciated Cynthia's response, because this is the thing. She is getting information for what she is seeing online. This is where she thinks Nene is. But even though she thinks she's in that space where they're not friends, she said her piece, but she also did say some kind things about Nene. So I want you guys to watch that and you decide. Oh, wait, did I download it? Hold on. No. Give your girl a second. I downloaded it, right? I thought I did.
Person that.
Hold on. This was, I think she was stopped. Yeah, she was stopped by TMZ, and they asked her about, you know, Nene's remarks, because, you know, TMZ is petty. So they asked her about Nene's remarks, and this was her response. But I think she did it in the best way possible. She didn't talk to Nene, so how could she know, right? How could she know what was her intentions? She's only going, they're not friends, they don't talk, and she's only going off of what you post on social media. So I didn't really see anything wrong with her response. She was asked the question. If it were me, I probably would not give a response, but I'm not a reality TV star, and that is a part of the job. So I think, considering the circumstances, I think Cynthia did a good job, but I'm just going to let you guys decide as soon as that video renders. StreamYard, you make me jump through too many hoops. It's a lot easier to do just through YouTube. Oh, thank you so much, Shonda. This is the link to the Bradshaw Bunch of Walk of Fame episode where my mom is featured. If you want to check that out. I don't know what part of the episode she comes in. I think closer to the middle. But yeah, if you want to check out my mother's first TV debut, get on into it. Get on in. Simple Sam said, Nikki, we are geriatric millennials. We tired. No, you're not. Stay up. Stay up. But yeah, listen, I'm reading your comments about Atlanta. I'll give him a shot. I'll give them a shot. I'm not excited, but I'll give them a shot. What's up, Shannon? Then Miss T said, I wish both ladies would have kept this off social media. I absolutely agree. However, we're not reality TV stars. This is a part of the job. You have to stay within the public eye. Like, we have to, same thing with the Kardashians, right? They can never go away, because if they go away, then their money goes away. These people make money off of being in our faces. They can't just disappear. So stuff like this, you know, although it seems petty to us, and although it's not something that we would do, for them, it's a part of the job. It's a part of the job. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you so much. JG said, Cynthia also made a point to mention that if she had went to the funeral, her and Nene wouldn't have been able to have a moment. Like, why was it needed if support was genuine? Very, very interesting. Yes, I definitely will check it out. It's like everybody seems to really like it and enjoy it. And she's there, and I heard that she's a great host. I'll definitely check it out. I know my mom really wants to go to the lounge, so I'll definitely check it out. Phil said, do we give things to get them in our times of need, or to be nice. I think, to be honest with you, I think some people, you know, who she was beefing with reached out because that's just the people they are. I think others did it because it'll look bad on them if they didn't, right? I think people, if you don't send something, people will be like, oh, well, you know, y'all was beefing, but Greg was nice to everybody. You still could have sent her something. That's just wrong. She's hurting, right? But then if you do send something, you get blasted on social media. So it's like it's not a win-win situation for, you know, her enemies at this time. But again, it's not about you. It's not about you. So what you gonna do? It's a tough situation to be in. And then dealing with somebody who is in extreme pain. It's like, do you shoot back? Like, because this is the thing, like Claudia doesn't look good shooting back at NeNe, who I don't even think was speaking about her. Just doesn't look good because it's like you're punching down. But then it's like you did say something that wasn't kind about these women who did something kind for you in your time of need. But I just feel like it's not a win-win situation when you are fighting with somebody who's mourning. I don't think it's something that the opposing party could win. I just don't think that's possible. Wait, is this it? Hold on. Ooh. Nope. All right, let's share. What the hell is going on in StreamYard? Whew, they make this difficult.
What's your reaction to NeNe's interview?
Oh man, you know what? I was a little surprised, and a little disappointed. It meant a lot to me to, you know, connect with her out of respect for Greg, and you know, I don't know what else to say or do other than, you know, I always try to just move in light and move in love, and I honestly had a great time with NeNe. We had a great time. I mean, I stayed, almost closed down the lounge with her. So
You didn't expect to wake up to this today, huh?
No, I didn't. At this point, I feel like I've really tried to, you know, at least have a respectful, cordial relationship with her. And I'm very well aware that we're not friends, but because we've had so much history and we've, you know, been on the show together, I at least wanted to be in, you know, a respectful place with her. But it seems like that's not something she's interested in. So I'm honestly not interested in even discussing it any further.
You mentioned that you missed the funeral because you were out of town.
Yeah, I was here. I was in LA.
Do you regret not going to the funeral now that you know that NeNe was upset that you weren't there?
No, I mean, I don't regret going to the funeral. I, you know, texted her, I called her, I sent flowers. I made it very clear that I sent my condolences, and I made every effort to make sure I saw her after. And it was actually better for me because I don't think we would have had time to really even connect one-on-one like we did when I did see her. So it actually meant a lot more to me that I actually got a chance to hang out with her at the lounge. Regardless of where I am in my friendship with NeNe, I'm always going to have love for her, no matter what. But if I have to just love her from afar, that's just what it is. And that's not my choice. That's, unfortunately how it is.
Well, if you had a message for NeNe, what would that be?
My message is, I'm keeping, you in prayer, and my heart is still broken that Greg is no longer here, and, continue strength to you as you, move forward in your life. I wish you well.
Wait a minute. I looked at JG's comment. Wait a minute. I thought that what Cynthia said was sweet. I did think she could have just kept it, quick and cute and not give so much. But again, that's a part of the job. But I liked her response to that. And I'm hoping that at some point off the show, these two can get to a good place, because I really do think they had a good friendship. Unfortunately, the friendship wasn't properly balanced, right? NeNe is such a big personality and just a dominant person in general, and she really took over that friendship And I think her not respecting Cynthia on the level that Cynthia demanded respect really affected their relationship in a good way. But I think when it was good, it was great for them. And hopefully they can get to a better place that's equal and mature and not something that has to play out on TV. Because I really think at this point, NeNe needs good people in her life, good friends. And I think that Cynthia is one of them. Let's get into your thoughts and then we'll get over into Beverly Hills. Oh, Missy said, I don't think Cynthia saw the video. It sounds like she got her say. Oh, okay. Drewski said, I feel like a lot of people are projecting onto what they feel Cynthia should have done. If NeNe said it was fine, then good. This isn't our lives. Absolutely agree. I will say in that interview where NeNe was talking about everybody coming together to get her flowers, she said that it was fine. Like she said, I didn't think that she said it nasty. She was like, Cynthia wasn't there. She didn't come, but she did text me and we did meet up at the Lithium Lounge. Like, I think she just was recounting what happened. It didn't come off nasty to me. What came off nasty and shady to me was saying that everybody got together and, $200. All them ladies got together and gave her $200 flowers. Now, that was shady. That was shady. No, that's coming right now, Virgo. I just wanted to first get into all the housewife drama that's going on outside of the shows that I normally review. Since we're talking about it, let's get into it. Yolanda Hadid claims Zayn Malik struck her. He adamantly denies it. Yolanda Hadid claims that Zayn Malik struck her last week, and she is seriously considering filing a police report. Sources with direct knowledge tells us, this is from TMZ, our source says that Yolanda said it happened at some point last week. We don't have the details of what she claims triggered the alleged assault, but we're told Yolanda stands by her account. She claimed Zayn struck her. There's an update at 5:15 p.m. Gigi and Zayn. Oh, Gigi and Zayn are no longer together, and it's been that way for a while. A source familiar with the situation tells TMZ the split happened more than a month ago. At 12:48 p.m. Pacific Standard, Zayn releases his statement concerning the alleged assault on Yolanda Hadid. Let me bring that up for you. And if you do not remember Yolanda, she was Miss Munchausen, the one that Lisa Rinna harassed for lying about having Lyme disease and basically ran her off the show because the lady said that she was lying. And here is her. He didn't marry her daughter. Her daughter is Gigi Hadid. Gigi and the other Hadid. They're both models. And they launched their careers on this show, actually on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let me bring up Zayn's statement about the alleged assault. And I say alleged because he says it didn't happen. But Yolanda sure does. This is the statement. Zayn says, and this is from his notes app, as you all know, I'm a private person and I very much want to create a safe and private space for my daughter to grow up in, a place where private family matters aren't thrown onto the world stage for all to poke and pick apart. In an effort to protect that space for her, I agreed to not contest claims arising from an argument I had with a family member of my partner's who entered our home while my partner was away several weeks ago. This was and still should be a private matter, but it seems for now there is divisiveness, and despite my efforts to restore us to a peaceful family environment that will allow for me to co-parent my daughter in a manner in which she deserves, this has been leaked to the press. I am hopeful, though, for healing for all involved with the harsh words shared, and more importantly, remain vigilant to protect Kai and give her the privacy she deserves. And that is from Zayn, and that is his notes app. So he's saying that he did not assault Yolanda, but it seems like he's saying that Yolanda did leak this story to the press. The only reason why I'm talking about it is because this is very weird, right? It's very weird for that One Direction boy to be beating up his wait, what? His baby mother's mother? That's just weird. I don't know. And I feel like Lisa Rinna has tainted Yolanda because I'm just like, I have to be honest, the first thing I was just like, is Yolanda okay? You know what I mean? Like, are you all right, Yolanda? But then I'm just like, why would she lie about something like this? Like, why would this be made up? Why would this be leaked? I don't know. It's just a very weird situation because you never hear anything about this family. But if Gigi and Zayn are no longer together and Yolanda maybe went there to go pick up some of her daughter's stuff because she didn't feel like getting into a confrontation with him, and she ended up getting, I don't know, choked out by him, and, you know, drama and everything ensues. If she does file a police report, then this is something that's going to have a lot of traction. And all I have to say is, where's Andy and where's the camera? Let's bring her back. Let's bring her back. We need new blood on this show. Well, not new blood, but we need more characters on this show that will not align themselves with the Scissor Sister Circle. So bring Yolanda back. I want to see this played out. Why not? Why not? We know about them because of this show. Let's bring it back on this show and let's flush it out. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? JG said this story is so random. It really, really is. I was like, Zayn beat up Yolanda? What? It's so random, which is why I'm like, is this true? Because it's so random. It's so random that I'm like, it has to be true, right? Because why? I don't know. I feel like she came over to get her daughter's stuff since her and the dude are broken up. I feel like she came over to get her daughter's stuff and he felt some sort of way about her using a key to get into his home that he shared with her daughter if she's not on the lease. You know what I mean? Like, you're not on the lease. You can't come into my home. But Yolanda's like, this is my daughter's place. I'm coming to get my granddaughter's stuff. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm leaving it here for my baby. She reaches for the stroller. He reaches for the stroller. He pulls back because he's a lot stronger. She falls to the wall and collapses down and runs out and says that she's going to call the cops and get him locked up. That's just one theory, right? Another theory could be he was not letting her into the home or tried to force her out of the home. Whatever happened, something happened, because why would you release that Notes app apology or non-apology? Why would you release that if it's like so false and fake that you don't even need to like address it? Why would you write that Notes app message? Because something happened, right? Now, something happened. We don't know the details, but this Notes app is confirming that something happened because it was alleged that Yolanda had said that she got beat up by him. There was no interview of Yolanda saying that Zayn beat me up, but there is a Notes app of Zayn saying we had a family matter and it's been blown out of proportion. So did you beat that old lady up? Like, what is it? What is it? Oh my goodness. Baby daddies putting their hands on a baby mama grandmother? Is this what happened? Like, y'all boyfriends beating up your moms? Is this what we're doing? Is this who we are? Ciao. Jazzy Ghost said, it's crazy they kept using the word struck instead of hit, LOL. Random story. I want Lemon loving Yolanda back. Yeah, I liked her on the show. Right? It was very random. Very random. JG said, here's disturbing how scared everybody on the show is of Erica, which extends to Rinna, in my opinion, and that includes Garcelle. She's hesitant as well, is off-putting. I think that Garcelle is hesitant because there's no support. Her only support is Sutton, who's shaking in her boots. Them little feet are shaking in them big boots. She's afraid of Erica. Everybody's afraid of Erica. And the only person who I think is not afraid of Erica is Garcelle, but she has no support, which is why we got to get Will Smith's ex-wife on the show. I saw Carlos King petitioning for her to join the show as a friend of. I hope they listen. Virgo said, my thoughts are enough of these wannabes. These girls would do anything for a check. Playing devil's advocate, let's start with Dorit. I don't believe her, right? Right when they're filming. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hey, Missy. Missy said he struck Yolanda and left and had a car accident and flipped his car 12 times. Y'all don't take nothing serious. I can't stand y'all. Thank you so much, Missy, for the super chat. Oh gosh. Thank you so much, Missy. Miss T said, I wonder if Yolanda would hold Erica's feet to the fire. She's definitely not scared of her. I think she would. I think she would. Speaking of Erica, let's hop on into the current cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and let's talk about the robbery. Exclusive. This is from Daily Mail. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley is held at gunpoint and robbed of jewelry and handbags during 20-minute home invasion by 3 men while she was asleep with her kids. Co-stars show up to show support. Dorit was robbed at gunpoint Wednesday night during an invasion in her Encino Hills home while her children ages 7 and 5 were in the house. Her husband PK was in London at the time. She was sleeping when 3 men entered the house, smashing through the children's classroom door. 2 of the suspects entered her bedroom as she begged, "Don't hurt my babies, don't kill me, I'm a mother." The men threatened to kill her, then ransacked the house, stealing jewelry and handbags. No one was injured during the incident. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was slated to start filming Thursday. There is now a question mark over whether Kemsley will be moving forward with production due to the incident. This is very weird. For Encino, the men broke into the residence just before 11 p.m. and they were able to rob her for 20 minutes and no police showed up in Encino? There's nothing to do in Encino. The police are not busy. Not going to question it. PK was still abroad at the time of the attack and is now headed back to California to be with his wife, who is said to have been traumatized, of course, by the incident. A source says Dorit's only inkling at the time was to make sure her children were okay. 2 of the suspects walked into Kemsley's bedroom while she was sleeping. She awoke to them standing at the end of her bed. They grabbed her as she begged, "Don't hurt my babies, don't kill me, I'm a mother," to which one of them responded, "Kill her." The intruders proceeded to ransack the house for 20 minutes, stealing all of Kemsley's jewelry and handbags. They did not enter the bedroom belonging to her children, and no one was injured during the incident. After the intruders left, Kemsley contacted the police and her husband, who was in London at the time. Los Angeles police said the identity of the suspects and the value stolen of property remains unknown. The robbery homicide division is investigating. And then they show here all of the housewives showing up to send their support to Dorit. I think it's just I have to be honest with you. I think it's very weird. I lived in Encino. I think I told you that's where mainly all the Beverly Hills housewives live. Like they all live in Encino. There's only one who lives in Beverly Hills too. The former Lisa Vanderpump and Kathy Hilton. Everybody else is in Encino. Because Encino is nice and affordable and very suburban. So it's just weird that her house was burglarized for 20 minutes. And like, do you have a security system? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not true, right? The police showed up and, they got a report or whatever. Is it insurance fraud? I don't know. Y'all know that I used to work for that insurance company, and this is very common. I will be honest with you. I'm not saying that this is insurance fraud. I will say that it's very common for celebrities, especially those who are in need of coin, to fake robberies for insurance fraud. The majority of them do it, right? Because it's a quick million. Not saying this is something that she's doing. I know that there are people who are suspecting that she faked this robbery because the show is starting and she was on the chopping block. I don't know. I mean, would you fake a robbery with your children in the home? I mean, I see faking a robbery when you're not there, but your children in a home, it's just weird. The whole story is just very weird because I'm just like, you said, please don't kill me. I'm a mother. My children are in the home. And one of them said, kill her. And they didn't. If they're coming to rob you, why are they trying to kill? I don't know. I'm not gonna ask too many questions of this cast, right? Because if I start asking questions, I just feel like I'm gonna just go down a rabbit hole because the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, them ladies are liars. They are liars. Not saying that Dorita's lying about this, right? It just seems really weird for her to try to fake something like this. Is there a possibility? Absolutely. Right. With wealthy people, with rich people, there's always a possibility of some scam. But I just don't know if she will put her children in danger, even if it's fake, right? Even if she knows that her children are, even if it is fake, I don't think that she will put her children in danger. Even if it's fake, right? Because something could go wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Hoping that everything is okay. I pray that she didn't fake this for, insurance, to get a quick 2 or something million, because all they stole was her jewelry and her handbags. Didn't touch her shoes, didn't touch any of PK's things, didn't ask for the safe. They just stole the jewelry and handbags. Is it a good storyline? I don't know. Because I just don't want to think that somebody would fake this. I don't want to think that somebody would fake this. But when you have a history of being a scammer, I think people will call stuff into question. So I don't know. I do not know. I'm glad she's safe, though. I'm glad the children are safe. Yeah, that sucks. But that's also LA. That's also LA. Like, if I am ever to buy a property in Los Angeles, please believe I'm buying in a gated community. I am not living anywhere where you can ride by my home. If I purchase a home in Los Angeles, I'm purchasing a home where you have to, show up to security with your ID. You have to be notified that this person is coming into the property. Like, I'm not playing. You will get robbed in Los Angeles, especially if you are somebody who was on a show that flaunts, all of these designers and all of this stuff. You're going to get robbed. It's just something that a lot of people do because it's just easy, because a lot of these people get these big, beautiful houses, keep a lot of their possessions in there, and they travel. That's why I'm also somebody who never posts where I'm at. Like, if I take a picture and I post it on Instagram, please know that I was at that place 2 weeks ago. I am not there currently, right? Yeah, it's just not smart to do, especially when you're telling people that you have all these designer clothes and you're spending this much on your budget for this and that. Do you not have a security system? How do you have all of this money? You're on the show flaunting, having all of these things, and you don't have a security system. Why are you living in an ungated community and you're on TV? I'm not going to ask no more questions. I'm not going to try to think about it. I'm just, going to send my thoughts and prayers, and glad that she is okay. Let me see your comments. Same thing, Missy. I don't know. It's very weird. I have a security system. Like, it's like I live in a gated property because Los Angeles is the place where you will get robbed. Like, I'm not, and I don't even got nothing that Dorit has, but I'm like, I'm gonna live somewhere where I'm safe and secure. I don't know. Oh, Shonda already called it out. Listen, we can ask these questions, especially when there's just a history of this happening on the show. There's nothing wrong with saying or thinking like, asking the questions. New Mommy D said, I'm confused. So this house doesn't have a ring, at least? I don't know. I don't know. Miss T said, allegedly they had an alarm system which was faulty and came from Teddy's husband's company. we going to connect the dots? When are we going to connect the dots? All right. All right. All right. I am Rachel said. I am Rachel said. Did y'all see that Teddy blames Dana Wakili $25,000 sunglasses for sharing a legal document on Twitter, though her exact address wasn't listed? Let me get these super chats. Ciao. Hey, New Mommy D. New Mommy D said, I believe it. And I also think the jewelry and handbags are in the ditch with Tom's decaying mistress. All-Star family, y'all messy. Thank you so much, New Mommy D, for the super chat.
Thank you.
You don't have to do that. I have this. Hey, Aretha. Aretha said, it's my first time catching the live. Love you. Love your channel. Love you too. Thank you so much for joining me.
Love you.
Thank you.
First timer. Woo! You came to the right
Toya,
channel.
it's late here. It's late. We're not on East. We're not on West
No,
Coast.
I'm on NikkiStar time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for being the first time.
JL said, I hope it's not true so that she and her kids were not in danger. On the other hand, but what that would mean she's lying. Yeah. I'm just saying, you cannot put, I'm glad everybody's safe. I'm glad everybody's safe. Alicia said, don't they owe people money? And I'm pretty sure she had that stuff insured. I bet my last dollar that they used that money to pay them back. I mean, it would be the smart thing to do. It would be the smart thing to do. It would be the smart. When are we going to connect the dots? When are we going to? Alicia said, it's like the third housewife that this has happened to. And they all had the same secure. Ciao. JG said, this is giving storyline at this point, and it's sad to believe that, but speaks to their lack of credibility. This is the thing. When you scam, people are always going to question your behavior, like the things that you do. So, you know. Miss T said, Star Family After Dark is lit. JG saying, Nikki, don't be side-eyeing them. We love the Star Family. Hey, Mama Star.
Thank you.
Wow. JL said the kill her part icked me. What kind of robbers want to murder people when it may not be deemed required? Well, Pop Smoke, who was another person who had Teddy's husband's security system, he was robbed and he was murdered. So that is a possibility, right? That is a possibility. It's just very weird that somebody who is coming and listen, maybe I just watched too much ID channel, but like, yes, it's weird for somebody to come looking to steal your possessions, but also is like, let's kill this lady. Let's kill this very wealthy person. Now, I just got to be honest with you. If somebody is killed, they're accidentally shot, right? And it's not like a murder for hire. Like, I don't know. I'm like, the person who came to steal your handbag said, let's kill her. Really? So they want to be possibly booked for robbery and manslaughter? Yeah. I think, Dorit, the less details you give, the better. The better, because it's going to go Erica Jane territory if you start telling too much. Glad you guys are safe. Alicia said, this is how you know the justice system is messed up, because if we cannot connect the dots, why can't the FBI or LAPD or any of them? Ciao. Shed Pearl said, honorary Detective Nicole. That's right. That's right. Yes, up people. Like, come on, we gotta be real. Robbers, these people who are robbing these people homes are not killing the wealthy white or the rich white people that live there, right? Will they kill a black rapper? Yes, especially if this black rapper is talking about all kinds of violence, right? It's, you know, are they going to kill a white woman and her white children? Let's be realistic. That's not realistic unless it's a murder for hire plot, right? Because if that person who came in to rob, you know, Dorit's home ended up, you know, taking her life and her children's life, who are we looking at? PK? We're looking at PK, right? We're looking at because that is logical. Them coming in, stealing your Birkins, and right while they're stealing your Birkins, they say, let's kill her. Not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying, wow. Wow. It's giving snowing in Pasadena. Glad everybody is okay. Glad everybody's okay. JL said the other suspicious part is that Dorit did not describe those men. She better not, oh yes. She better not describe the men as people of color if the incident were not true. Yes, she can't do that. She can't do that. Sis, if it's not true, say it's white men. If it's not true, say it's white men, because baby, these petty police officers who will want to get a story out will leak the hell out of the fact that you lied, because what they will do is go straight to TMZ and get a cool million off of your lies. So if I was you, I would stop talking about it. Oh God, are you going to be like Erica Jane talking about this incident on the show? You know what? Is the Scissor Sister Circle, are they going to be their own downfall? Because we're looking for a housewife to come in and tear that clique apart. I feel like they're going to do it to themselves. Oh, Dorit. No security system or a faulty security system. And you got robbed in Encino. That really nice area, because I know where they all live, because like I said, I used to live in that area, walk in that area, and Dorit's home is actually a home that not something that I was ever looking to buy, because I just didn't have the, you know, wasn't thinking about buying at that time, but it was definitely a home that I looked at and was like, wow, this is gorgeous. But I did not think it was worth $3 million, especially since anybody can walk by that home and anybody can drive by that. I feel like that home is so nice. It needs to be in a gated community. You should not be able to walk by Dorit's home. You shouldn't, especially for $3 million. But that is Los Angeles. But I'm glad everybody's safe. I really, really am. I'm just saying, sis, if this is not true, this is the end for you. This is the end for you, especially if you describe them men as people of color. You can't say they Mexican. You damn sure can't say they black. What race could you make them? White. I would stick with white. If it's not true, stick with white. Stick with white. Because let's be real, there are people who are robbing these Hollywood homes, because what they do is they look at your Instagrams, right? And they see when you are away, and that's when they all go and rob your home. And a lot of people who do it are not, wealthy, but middle-class white people who will go unsuspected. Remember the bling ring, them white kids who were going to rich celebrities' homes and robbing them? They will go unsuspected. They can walk in a neighborhood and look like they're people's rich kids, right? These robbers can walk in the neighborhood, skateboard in the neighborhood, drive around in a nice rented car, and people will think that they belong. 3 black men in Encino, in ski mask and hoodies. It's not believable. It's not believable. So I'm going to follow this story. Look at me following this story and see. Dorit, I hope it's not storyline. I hope it's not insurance fraud. Sis, if it's not true, I will stop talking about it immediately, because you can never recover from this. You can keep those robbers white. Let's move on. Missy said, the fact that we're having a hard time believing this story speaks volumes about Dorit's character. Absolutely. 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 That's another thing. I'm like, are we looking into this? Are we looking into this? Every system that this man has secured, somebody has gotten robbed. Y'all can't be that dense. Y'all can't be that dense. Child. I know I saw that on the reunion where she says she purchases all of those things. Child. Alicia said those bags are in the same place as Kyle. Woo, child. Anyway, listen. All questions aside, glad that everybody is safe. I honestly believe that she would not lie about something like that and put her children in danger. I hope that I'm right. I hope that I'm right, because you will never recover from this if this ain't true, sis. So I'm going to go with the belief that this actually happened, and I'm very sorry and unfortunate for you. I think you need to get a better security system, a new security system. I think you need to keep your head on swivel and connect the dots about this. All of y'all need to start connecting the dots, unless y'all in cahoots, and that will explain this scissor sister circle. That will explain it. Unless you all are in cahoots, child, let me tell you something. Y'all, when you get so up there where you think that you will never fall, baby, it's coming. Baby, it's coming. Stay woke. Stay woke. Shannon Van said, here's to hoping she put a towel on the inside pocket of some of those bags. LOL. I'm sure she didn't, but what a great idea. What is it? Put a tile? What is that? Like a tracker? That's genius, if that's what you mean. JG says, you know what else is crazy? Seeing Andy ask Erica if she knew of Tom's financial issues before this foolishness, when he knew of Tom's financial issues himself years before this broke. Yeah. I don't know why nobody ever said to him, like, but you knew this too, Andy. The only one who's ever called him out and said that he knew was Bethany. Virgo said it's at 11:14 here, Nikki. Let's move on, please. And thanks, Doritos. Nice scare, mama. No, you keep your behind up. How about that? Keep your behind up. Keep your behind up. Shannon Van said, yes, those little towel devices that you can put in your own. Shannon Van, send me what you're talking about. That seems like a great idea. I need to do that for myself. Child. Anyway, let's move on because Virgo is sleepy. Let's move on. Let's get into who's the first people we're going to talk about. And you know what, guys, if you're tired, there's always replay gang. There's always replay gang. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't have a lot to say about Beverly Hills or Potomac. More to say about Salt Lake. If we have time, I'll get into Salt Lake. Let's talk about Beverly Hills. I still have no idea why Kyle is sitting next to Andy. Why is she there? I hate that Beverly Hills has their own set of rules, right? And those rules do not apply to any other housewife show. Every other housewife show, the housewives who had the most drama or the biggest storyline always sat next to Andy. Kyle literally is sitting next to Andy because that show has crowned her the queen of Beverly Hills, although she had absolutely nothing going on. I am sorry, but this I told you guys, Beverly Hills was not going to give us a 4-part reunion that was worthy. I knew it. This part of the second and third part of the reunion is basura. The first and the fourth are the only one that mattered, and they all should have been on one night. It should have been a 2-hour special. Why are you giving us a 4-part reunion and you have nothing to talk about? They spent 10 minutes talking about Kyle and Kathy not talking to each other for a decade. Didn't y'all cover that on the reunion part 2? Why are we talking about a reunion part 3? Why? No shade, but Kathy and Kyle aren't interesting. Like they're good within this ensemble, and Kathy has her fun little quirky moments. But let's be real, we tuned in for Detective Sutton and Detective Garcelle. That was the season. If they were not on the show, there would be nothing to talk about. Why is Kyle sitting next to Andy? What happened? What does she have going on? We learned nothing about her. We did not see her do anything. Even Kathy said there's a Kyle that we have never met. She's fun and she's odd or whatever. There was nothing that she did this season. Why is she sitting next to Andy? Because she's the queen of Beverly Hills. How sad. How sad. She is the queen of Beverly Hills. How sad. The person who should have been sitting next to Andy is Erica and Sutton. Erica and Sutton. I don't know why they gave us Kyle, but it is what it is. Beverly Hills, the bar is set so high for them, and everybody goes up for Beverly Hills. And I think it's just because they're rich white women. I don't think they deliver like New York. I don't think they deliver like any other. I don't even think they deliver like Jersey, to be quite honest with you. I don't think they do that. But they are given this just because of their names or connections in the entertainment industry. But I just don't think that what they give us is worthy of the hype. I don't believe it, but it is what it is. And I have no way taking away from Crystal's experience with racism. What happened to her on this show, especially with the fan base, is absolutely horrible. I felt her pain when she cried about the racism she received and how it's still happening. She also opened up and talked about, more in depth about her father and the fear that he had when they had their first racist experience here in America. She even said that her dad got in the car. He was so scared and he just started driving and did not stop. He even passed their home. I'm not taking away from her experience at all. I often talk about the racism that Asian people experience here on this land. So this is no comparison. This is not taking away from what she experienced. I just find it funny how she was given this moment within the show where Andy cared for her in a beautiful way, as he should have, right? And protected her. And basically was letting the fan base know that she is somebody that they love and protect and will care for, and then made everybody go around and say what they love about Crystal. Great. Necessary. No problem with it. I just find it funny how he's never done this for any of the Black housewives. Not a one. And the Black housewives on Bravo experience racism from the fan base from day one, and they still experience it. Hello, Candace. Hello, Candace, right? They are still harassed, called all kinds of names, and he's never done this for the women who carry this network on their backs. And it's very eye-opening that the least protected women on this land are the most disrespected women on the network. And they are also the women who bring in the most viewership and money for Bravo. And they are the most disrespected and the least protected from that network. That was just very interesting. And I think it feeds into the issue that a lot of Black people, myself included, have with the whole POC community, right? Because it's a community that has no unity, and it is a community that has continued to be plagued by white supremacy. Because here you see an East Asian woman who is giving love and cared for by white people, right? White people on this show, when just 2 episodes ago, we saw the white women on this show and their pimp not protect Garcelle, who had an issue with Lisa Rinna. And we know you said it, and we know Kyle was the one who told Garcelle because of Kyle's reaction. Remember when Kyle did that? When she said, when Garcelle said that Lisa said that why would Garcelle bring race into the show, and the way Lisa attacked her and the way Garcelle was not protected, right? And then we have seen Candace speak about the racism she received. We've seen all of the Atlanta housewives talk about that as well. They've never been given this care. They've never been given this space. Andy has never made a point to say that they are with them and that they care for them and that these women are protected. But you did that for Crystal. Why? Because Crystal sat there and spoke about how her father said, just take it. Take the racism. Take the oppression. We just want you to do well. Keep your head down, mind your business, and do well, right? So what it says is that if you, even though you experience the same kind of racism and oppression, because you take it, because you act as if you do not mind it, you are considered better and you are considered protected. Right? Because you will accept the crumbs from the master's table, and the ones who will not accept those crumbs, who say either sit me at this table or don't give me anything at all, and I will continue to fight until I'm able to sit at that table, they're looked at as the bad guys, right? They're looked at as the minorities you should not be, but you are looked at as the model minority. And herein lies the issue with the POC community and why a lot of Black people, myself included, does not identify it, because we all should be upset. Every minority, every marginalized community should be upset and unsatisfied with the crumbs from the master's table, right? You should want to either be at that table or destroy that table. That's where you should be. But here we see how don't say anything, keep your head down, take it, how it works for some. That is my biggest issue. That is my biggest issue. Again, Crystal deserved that protection. She deserved that space. But it's just mighty funny how Black women on this network never get that. And how we actually have a Black woman in the cast, and she got none of that from Andy. She got none of that from the network, and she damn sure did not get that from our cast members. Let's move on. Erica had every right to be upset with Dorit and Kyle. I agreed with her when she said it hurt me watching you guys make fun of my situation, right? And the reason why I feel like Erica had every right to be upset with them is because they talked about her behind her back, agree with everything that Sutton and Garcelle was saying, and then got in front of her face and acted like none of that happened, right? So I feel like she had every right to be pissed off about that. She had every right to be pissed off about that because they were acting super fake. And then Dorit's excuse and Kyle's excuse, none of it to me was good enough, right? Because at the end of the day, they don't believe her. Their husbands don't believe her, and they made fun of her and they talked about her the entire season. But when it came to confronting her, they threw Sutton under the bus and made it seem like this was something she was leading out. But for some reason, Erica is still mad at Sutton about that situation, and not the girls who are in the Scissor Sister circle with her, who played her to her back on camera. She had every right to be upset about that, but I felt like she could have got a little bit more angry. But for some reason, I think these broads are all in cahoots. I'm telling you, something is going to come out. Something is going to come out. This doesn't give friendship. This gives accessory, right? Y'all in on something. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out why everybody is so loyal to each other. Child, I hope Teddy's husband ain't the nexus of all of this. Anyway, Erica, you use alleged and the wrong way and always at the wrong time. Alleged victims. The victims are not alleged, right? The victims exist. You don't use alleged victims. She keeps on saying that. And I'm like, where in your mind does that make sense to you? Why is your soul not connecting and saying, this is the wrong wording? Don't say that. But the whole time she kept on saying, these alleged victims. The victims are not alleged, right? What happened to them actually happened to them. At this point, your husband is not being, sued for the crimes. He's being sued for the money that they've been getting, right? That's why your stuff is being liquidated. That's why things are being seized. So the alleged does not exist anymore. I don't know why you keep on saying that, and how you don't, like, something in your moral compass doesn't say that this is not the way to describe these people. I don't know what's not clicking. I really don't know. God bless you. God bless you. And when I do want to say this, when she keeps on describing the victims as alleged, right? Like, we all know that the victims are not, they're here. Like, we can see them. We know the story. Your funds are being liquidated because of that. I think the only reason why she keeps on saying alleged is because she does not want to be financially responsible. So if you keep on putting out alleged and not giving them any validity, then you can't justify having to pay the victims $25 million. I think that's the angle she's trying. And I get it, sis, but at some point, you're going to have to open your purse. At some point. At some point. And when Andy and the ladies are asking questions about, what she did on this season, like you do at the reunions, like you had your whole highlight reel of the season. Andy asked questions. The ladies asked questions. The ladies were just, even her friends, the Scissor Sister Circle, even they were just like, you just did not come off like you had any remorse. You just did not come off like you really cared about, the victims and everything that was going on. And she basically said, well, I got to look out for myself. Basically saying, I don't care about them. I have to protect myself. And she just seemed very angry at everybody. And even Crystal was just like, where's your anger for this man? And she, am I angry? I'm not for you. And like, she bit off Crystal's head like twice during this reunion, and she's going to give Sutton a lot of heat next the final part of the reunion, but still no heat to this man. This is why it looks like you're in cahoots with him, right? This is why it looks like you're hiding money and you're protecting him in some kind of way, because you say that he cheats on you. You say that he hasn't been very kind to you, but then you're doing everything to protect him, even going along with this whole, dementia storyline. Like all of this, even next week, she's going to say, he's not there. He can't communicate. Like all of this stuff that you're saying about this man, it's just to protect him. Why? If you're saying he's such a terror, it's just not been making sense. This Scissor Sister Circle don't make no sense. Nothing that comes out of their mouth makes sense. No, it's like y'all are all lying. Why are y'all lying like this? What is going on? And why, Andy, you fired up the barbecue, but then you turned the barbecue down after 3 questions. You should have kept that barbecue on hot. Broil the hoe. Like, get the answers that we need. They did not need a 4-part reunion. They did not need a 4-part reunion. I don't know why Andy, Bravo, the ladies, why everybody is afraid of this woman. Is she a mafia boss, right? Is she like a kingpin? What is it? Why are y'all so afraid of this lady? I don't get it. I told you what I'm going to do. You just have to watch and find out. What? Where is those people's money? Anyway, that's all I had to say. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Miss T said Erica wouldn't answer any questions. Andy had to say no. Like, ciao. JL said, Crystal disappointed me so much. When you're the first one on the show, it's almost a responsibility to represent. She continues the Asian stereotype of submission, obtuseness from racial equality. Unfortunately. And when everybody was just like, Andy included, and the rest of the ladies, we love the fact that you shared your culture. Garcelle is sitting there like, oh, wait, do I not exist? She had a whole Haitian dinner party that not even the whole cast showed up to. She shared her culture. Oh, Garcelle, you're too kind. You're too kind. Sierra said, I'm ready for part 4. Looks like that's where the real mess is. Hopefully, they just don't deliver. And everybody still goes up for them, and I don't understand. Marion said, nothing is going to come out of what we don't already know in this reunion about Erica. It's a waste of time. Absolutely. That's what I feel. I'm like, stop asking her questions. We're not going to get the answers. Let it go. The Dear Show podcast said, I feel like we're not getting anywhere with Erica. A waste of time. Yep. Rachel said, racism against Black people is a fabric of American society, so much that it's been normalized. Absolutely. New Mommy D said, I've had so much experience with the POC thing, especially in emergency radiology. And you hit the nail on the head with the model minority. Wow. Miss T said, yep. Bravo, cancel the Real Housewives of New York reunion to not have to deal with racism. Absolutely. Miki W said, that's exactly why I hated that Garcelle gave excuses for the race conversation. She made everyone comfortable with their behavior. This is where I think that Garcelle and Crystal are alike in a lot of ways, where they are both two minority women who grew up in white spaces, who long to be accepted into those white spaces so much that they would choose partners who would elevate them into those spaces or allow them into those spaces, and also did things to make themselves palatable to those very white spaces. And as they get older, right, they start to, especially with Garcelle, start to break down, because she cannot get into this white clique that she wants to get in with so badly. And it's because she will not bend and break and follow the rules of the leader. And because she will not do that, she can't be accepted, and that bothers her, right? That bothers her. And the same thing with Crystal. She wants to be invited into that space. And because she's invited into that space, she'll sacrifice a lot of things about herself. Even when sharing her culture, she's always making excuses for it. When she invited the ladies over and they were having Chinese food, she was apologizing and making excuses for the food and how things were made. It was as if it was a sharing of culture, but a bit of embarrassment. Why? Right? But that comes from your food being made fun of because it's different. So I think they are alike in a lot of ways. And I feel like those of us who are from Crystal's culture or from Garcelle's culture, or if you are somebody who looks like Crystal, right? Or you look like Garcelle, you're wanting them to not want to be in those spaces, to stand in who they are, to stand in their culture and not bend and break. But it's unfortunate because you watch these women try so hard to be a part of this group where you're like, they're not the stars you are. But if they can't see it, how can they act upon it? But we can see it, but they can't. So I think that's why so many of us were hoping that, Garcelle and Crystal became best buddies, because, the similarities of racism and oppression, right? That's a sad thing that we bond over, but we were hoping for that. But I think we got two minority women who want to be a part, want to be in the in crowd, and don't want to run their own race. They want to be accepted. And I think we're just longing for women who look like us, who don't want to be accepted, because for a lot of us, it will be a relief, or living vicariously through somebody else, right? While we still have to go to these jobs where we have to straighten our hair or change our voice or act a certain way to be accepted, from 8 to 5 or whatever. And then when we get off that job, we can be ourselves again. I think we're watching them, hoping that they can do something that we don't feel like we can do, and we can live vicariously through them. But I think for a lot of us, it gets under our skin because we're wanting them to do something we can't, or we, like them, don't have the cojones to do because of the coin, and they're just not doing it. And it's disheartening. It's disheartening because you're seeing what you deal with and you want to escape when you're watching this show. That's the reality. That is the reality. Unfortunately, and I talked about this before, I said when you're a person of color or when you are a part of a marginalized community and you come on these shows where you're breaking up white spaces, we expect a lot from you, unfortunately, because you are somebody who that space was not made for, and that show is only putting you on because the times is changing. So we are expecting you to go in there like the Harriet Tubman of your culture and stand your ground and run that show. But that's not the reality for a lot of people. And I don't think Bravo will ever cast any woman of color or any Black person to do that. Not on Beverly Hills. Anyway, let me get a couple more comments and then we're going to move on to Potomac. The Dare Show podcast said, defending this man that says he thinks you knew, it's crazy. Well, she can fight that argument and say, well, he doesn't know because he's out of his mind at this point. So quickly. Now, I don't know, how dementia or Alzheimer's works. I don't know. So it could happen very quickly. I'm just saying it's pretty convenient that these things are happening with him when it's time for him to pay those stolen funds. Is it reality or is it a coincidence? Who knows? Who knows? JG said, I don't think a friend would change Garcelle's actions protecting the woman. She will continue to cower. I'm telling you. I happen to agree. We're expecting something from Garcelle, but she's just not that girl. She's just not that girl. She even said it. She's been trying to fit in her whole life. She wants to be accepted into those spaces. And the minute those ladies accept her, there won't be any issue. JL said, it's only nature to want to be accepted by the majority racially and culturally, but at some point, you just have to break free. I absolutely agree. JL also said, I am not optimistic about Crystal because of the environment she put herself in. She is also a minority in her own home. Listen, JL is reading tonight. Child, I'm not used to this, JL. Oh, gosh. Miss T said, Garcelle and Crystal experience racism in very different ways. Absolutely agree. I am Rachel said, Lisa Rinna made such a fuss about not eating seafood at Garcelle's dinner, but salivated at the sight of Kathy Hilton's caviar pie and faux gras. Yep. By the way, caviar is fishier. Let them know I am Rachel. Mickey W said, Nikki, I just get confused when Garcelle allows a woman to scream at her in person, but then proclaims it will never happen again on Watch What Happens Live. We just have to see. We just have to see. Miss T said, sadly, Bravo went looking for a woman of color who wanted to be accepted. Look at New York. Yeah. Oh, New York. I'm going to do a separate video about New York. I have so much to say about what's happening over there. Ciao. Anyway, let's get into the Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I saw the G and what's her name? Ashley situation a lot differently, right? G was not bothering nobody. G was having a good time, not drunk, right, in his right mind, not bothering anybody, right? And he said something like, if I wasn't here, I would be sleeping. Ascala was the one who made it about Ashley, right? Because I didn't take that Mr. G was trying to dig at Ashley about the sleeping. I think that's how Ascala took it, because Ascala was like, if you keep on talking about sleeping, you're going to set her off. Then Giselle grabbed that and took it even farther and was just like, why are you saying, things about sleeping? You know how she felt. And he was like, what are you talking about? You know what you said to her on the bus. And he was acting like he didn't know. So then Ashley chimes in and she's like, yeah, when I was trying to sleep and you were bothering me. He was like, I don't remember that. Oh, you don't remember? What? Is it Alzheimer's? Is that why you don't remember? That was nasty. That was mean.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. We are not defending Ashley. If you did not watch the episode, you have to sit there and do what? No, in that situation, Mr. G was not wrong.
Mama Star is being reprimanded.
We're not going to defend Ashley. That's what we're not going to do. We are not going to defend Ashley. Absolutely not. Do not chime in if you're defending Ashley, Mama.
I'm not defending Ashley, but I am saying that man needs to be.
But no, you got to talk about what you have to talk about. What? No, you have to talk about what happened. He was not talking to her. He was not engaging with her. Yes, but at this point, he was sober. They jumped in and started engaging with him. He was not directing his conversation at Giselle or Ashley. Okay, and this time he was right. Child, she go up for them KKK Karens, don't she? Don't she? Child.
Not the KKK Karen. Wait a minute, I am appalled.
You go up for them. You go up for the KKK Karens of Potomac.
No,
you absolutely
KKK Karens over here. And maybe
mommy has defended Giselle on my show, and now she's defending Ashley.
Maybe Mama Star is a bit tired because it's a bit late for her, and she's, you know.
No, it's not. It's not. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock for her.
Well, I was trying to give you a pass, but you going up for the KKK.
I don't go up for the KKK.
Yes.
I go up for the AKA.
And that's enough of me engaging with you. Thank you. Anyway, I saw that completely differently, right? So when she says that about him, that was really mean and that was nasty. So as soon as I heard that comment, of course I went to Twitter, right? And I searched the hashtag because I just knew the fan base would say that Ashley went too far. She went too low. The thing she said was horrible and mean. And maybe somebody like Monique should bop her in that big forehead and Andy should fire her from the show. I was looking for that. I never found it. And I wonder why.
Oh, because the KKK.
Yep, there you go.
The KKK.
There you go. Every episode of this show just proves me right every time. Every episode, it was mean, it was nasty, it was low, it was making fun of people who suffer from that disease, but nothing. Even the way Mia addressed her was a lot different from how she addressed Candace, wasn't it? Oh, Ashley, that's not nice. She made a terrible comment about your husband, and that's your comeback. So then Ashley is just like, well, I was saying that because of what he said. And then Mia is just like, no, that's not something nice that you should say. You're making fun of people who have a sickness. And, Ashley was like, no, I would have said that about myself. And that's when Mia started to get upset with her. And then that's where Mia says, where's your husband? And Ashley's like, with my children. And Mia goes, are you sure? And Ashley goes, I hate the fact, see, Ashley, listen, she got you. Because when she said, are you sure? When Mia said, are you sure to you? You started thinking, never let him see you sweat. She started thinking, she sure did call to see where he was at. She started thinking about where he was at. So Mia got you in that one. I did want to see more of them, but it fizzled out far too quickly for my taste. I will say this.
That Mia is something.
I gotta be honest, I didn't like this comment, right? Because even though it's a comment against white men, it's punching up. But still, I just didn't like it because Mia was just like, Ashley's problem is that she doesn't have a BBC. That's what she needs. And she didn't say BBC. I'm saying BBC. She needs a BBC. And Mom, that's enough. I just felt like she was saying that because she was basically saying that because Ashley has a white husband, she's not being fulfilled sexually. And I'm just like, I know it's punching up, but it's like you're also punching to, the sisters who are in relationships with non-Black men. So to say that they're not being satisfied, and I get that it was just about Ashley, but it was still like, that was kind of low. She needs a BBC to satisfy her. Listen, from what y'all told me, the BBCs ain't satisfying y'all either. But I was like, that's your comeback. She needs a BBC. Okay, Mia. Okay. But nobody came at her for that comment. Nobody thought that that comment was low. Nobody thought that that comment was attacking somebody's, you know, sexual, not prowess, what is it? Sexual performance because of the color of their skin or age. Nobody said anything about that. I wonder why. That wasn't low. Okay, let's move on. Mia. So after this, Mia and Mr. G get into a conversation about because like at this point the trip was over, and everybody was on their way back home. Robin and Giselle was saying how terrible the trip was, but they stayed the whole time. Like it was terrible, but you stayed the whole time. Anyway, Mia and G get back and they're talking about how Mia's talking about how she was on her anniversary dinner and she had to come back 2 hours later because her mother called her because she didn't know what to feed the kids, right? And G says, Mr. G says that he took the phone because Mia's mom had called Mia to ask her what the kids wanted to eat. And he took the phone because he thought that Mia's mother was calling her too much. And he says to her concerning his children, to the woman watching his children, "Can't you figure it out? We're at dinner." And Mia's mom gets upset and goes off on him and says, "These are your kids. These are your kids. I'm asking you what they want to eat." And she gets upset and hangs up. And then they spend the next 5 or so minutes dragging Mia's mom, right? Before I get into what I really want to say about that situation, let me just say this. If somebody calls you, right, because obviously your privileged, picky children don't want to eat what grandmom is making, and also they think of grandma a certain way because mama and daddy is always talking about grandma in front of them kids. So it already seems, starting off, there ain't no respect, right? So whatever grandma tries to get them to eat, it seems like they're not going to eat it and they're going to pitch a fit because they know how she's treated and, you know, where the respect should lie, and it don't need to lie nowhere with her because none of the adults in their lives give it to this lady because of the situation, right? And because of her past. Let's just be real clear with that. Kids are not dumb. They pick up real quickly how to treat certain people, and they pick it up from their parents. So if your privileged, picky kids, right, are not trying to eat what she is making and what she is offering, and she's calling you for help because your children will not eat or they're being difficult, and she's trying to say, what can I, give them to eat because, this one doesn't like this. What can I do? She's calling the parent for help. If I'm watching your kid and I call you and say, what do I feed them? What do you recommend? What should I make for your children to eat? And you tell me, figure it out. I think I'm going to cuss you out too and say, well, these are your children, and hang up. I think I might get a little pissed off for you to say that instead of saying, put my kids on the phone. That's what I believe she was calling for, right? Either a suggestion or some kind of getting them in line because they won't listen to her, because they don't respect this lady, because they set up in your conversations and heard how y'all speak about her. Let's get into how they speak about her. Mr. G and Mia dragged her mother for a good 5 or so minutes. The lady abandoned her. The lady did not treat her well. Mia is trusting her with her kids and she can't even do that right. The only reason why I bring that up is because this is what I said last time, right? And I felt like Mia was getting over with the sympathy about her mother possibly relapsing because of what Candace said about her on this show. And I said, before your mother gets to Candace's episode, she's going to first watch the first few episodes where you are dragging her, right? And this is what I'm talking about. You never speak positively about that woman, ever. I think Candace saying that she's low budget is not going to hit or cut as deep as her own child constantly talking about what a terrible parent she was. and how much of it, how she's just a terrible, how she was such a terrible parent that abandoned her, and she's an even more terrible grandmom. I think that's going to cut a little deep. A lot deeper than she's being low budget from somebody who she's never met, a Candace. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, before you can get to Candace calling your mama low budget, she got to get through the abandonment and the drug addiction, and you dragging her for putting on the foster care system, and y'all, she's going out to get a hit. You and her daddy going out to get drugs. Y'all selling her for drugs, and she's burning her. Like, she got to get through all of that before she gets to your mama is low budget. So who's going to be responsible if she possibly relapses? I doubt we could throw that on Candace, and I pray to God she doesn't relapse. I pray to God she doesn't. I don't wish that on anybody. Anyway, Giselle, how many times are we going to watch your daughters drag you? Like, I feel like every season they say, you and our father were horrible parents. I feel like every season they say, we don't know how to be in relationships. We are afraid to be in relationships because we watch you be tormented by our father, and you never expect anything good. You're in horrible relationships. You don't know how to be a good partner, and you don't pick great people. It's 50 years of you picking the wrong partner. They say this every season. At what point are you going to be like, you know what? Next season, when we film, let's talk about college, the boys in your life, rainbows, hair. Let's talk about finding a hair salon for the whole family. Let's talk about somebody who knows how to do black hair. Let's talk about finding a designer, an interior designer. Let that be your storyline, right? Fixing up the $900,000 tear down. No more talking about your relationships with your children, because every season they say, we can never look to you for advice about being in a relationship, because you have shown us, you and our father have shown us terrible examples of what we should expect in relationships. And if we do listen to you and follow your lead, we'll be miserable and we'll be in terrible relationships. And we don't do that. So we don't look to you or our father for any kind of relationship advice. They say that every season. And then we get to your therapist, who, let's be real, I have never in my life that I've been watching these, people going to all kinds of therapy sessions. Listen, I used to watch Intervention. I have never in my life seen a more annoyed, distraught, pissed off, tired therapist. It seems like as soon as Giselle sat down in his chair, he went, he was just like, and what did your daughter say to you? Ugh. You get why they said that, right? You're cold. Like, he's just so sick of her. He is so sick of her. When Giselle said, I don't need a man and I don't want a man, but I do want one. I just don't want him to be in my life all the time and controlling it. I just want to have one, but I don't want to have one all the time. He was just like, I was just like, you were getting on your therapist's nerves. He's sick of you. Like, everybody is sick. You gotta come up with another storyline next season. This is very sad. This is very sad. Thank you so much, JL, for the super chat. JL said, your ability to guide us through hard, important topics and have meaningful conversation always amazes me. Network should build a series around you. Darling, thank you so much. Thank you so much, JL. I totally appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat and for your kind words. But yes, sis, you got to stop bringing. I think it's fine for you to, if your children want to be a part of this show, but asking them about your relationships, they say the same thing every time, and it's actually very sad what they're saying. It's actually very, very sad and heartbreaking. And I just don't know if it's not landing with you, but it's landing with us. And it's very, very sad. Very, very sad to not be able to look at your mother or your dad for any kind of relationship advice and just be like, we don't know what a good relationship looks like because of our parents. We're just going to be figuring it out. We have learned nothing from you but bad things. And we want healthy relationships, so we know not to look towards our parents. Whew, cha. Whew, every season. Prayers up for our girl, Wendy. She posted today that she had been in the ICU for like a week with her daughter who is sick with something. We don't know, but it seems like the baby is doing well and they're going to be released soon. So prayers up for her and a speedy recovery for her daughter. Also, I'm very proud of her. I really, really am, because I think this is the first time we've watched somebody in one season say that they're going to do something, work on it, and then it gets released, right? While the season is still happening. Not only did she release her candle line, but it sold out in a day, which is really important, especially with the price point of being $50. Wendy is not known for making candles, and she made candles that are more expensive than Bath and Body Works and, dare I say, Anthropologie, and they sold out. They sold out. Listen, we don't know how many units she pushed, but what she put out there sold out. And it seems like her Home Essential line, it's going to be out sometime around the reunion. So props to her. I don't think we've ever seen somebody manifest products so quickly before. I really, really don't. And this is what I said before. This is why a lot of the OGs do not like the new girls, because the new girls are studying and they are doing what these ladies did in a decade and one season. And that is why the OGs cannot stand the younger, not younger in age, but newer housewives, because they've studied, they've done the work, and they're coming to collect, and they're getting their coins a lot quicker and faster than them other broads. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate them, join them. Join them. Join them. Wendy, I think she was having a really important conversation with her mom. I've always talked about this, how Black parents have a hard time apologizing. But what I will say is, knowing that you got a Black mama, why are you going to say on camera in front of all these people that she never apologized to you guys, and she never said that she was sorry for, all the hiccups that she made as a parent, right? Raising these kids and not really having a playbook, a rule book or a guide, but just doing the best that she can, right? Knowing what we know about our Black parents, how did you think that conversation was going to go? You know how hard it is to get a Black parent to apologize, and you're expecting to get an apology in front of an audience? Wendy, you just wanted to rile your mama up. There's no way you didn't know that that was going to be the outcome of her getting her glasses and her purse and saying, somebody get me an Uber. I don't want to stay here. How did you not think your mother was going to run out of that photo shoot unless you wanted her to? Unless you wanted her to, because it made no sense for you to bring up this conversation, and then expect her to continue the photo shoot. Important conversation. We need to have the conversation about Black parents apologizing, but you're not going to get an answer in front of an audience and on national TV. You're just not. I think that conversation would have been better after you and your mom talked about it off camera and were able to come to a place where you felt like you were both protected to have that conversation on the show, because it's an important conversation. But I just feel like you just wanted to, poke at your mom. There's no way you wanted any kind of resolution, knowing what we all know about our parents. Girl, bye. Ashley, let's talk about Ashley and her finest fashioned over leopard two-piece. Was this like I think it was like a satin leopard dress with the panties to match. Where did you get satin Where did you get the panties to match? This was so old. Just was like, girl. So anyway, Michael doesn't want to have sex with her. And she's telling her therapist that she's trying to do things and he just does not want to have sex with her. Is it because he's having sex with everybody else in Potomac and he's exhausted by the time he gets home to his wife? I mean, that's anyway, Ashley, do what you're gonna do. So she decides to have this sexy dinner date with him, and she wears her, Fashion Nova satin two-piece, and she tries to like entice him. I was very uncomfortable. I'm always uncomfortable with their scenes. This couple is just uncomfortable. They just make me very uncomfortable because here we have her like grinding on her paw.
Yeah.
Toya.
Not grinding on her paw.
Grinding on her paw, trying to like arouse him, and they could have cut this. I just feel like we did not need to see it. I think they could have cut it and just kept the part of Michael being enamored with Juan. Like, how did he make a conversation that was about who's the other white husband? Who's the other white husband's name? Michael? Candace's white man. The one with the brown zig. I think that was a conversation that she was saying that, he wants to have peace, and Michael is just like, I don't want anything to Chris, that's his name, Chris. He was like, I don't want anything to do with him because he's not like Juan. Juan is a great guy. Juan is a lovable guy. Juan would never do anything like that to me. Juan is somebody I want to be around. He went on talking about Juan for so long that Ashley had to hush him and, go into trying to arouse him. And I just think it's so odd that here we have another husband who is, let's be honest, in love with another husband on this show, and we just don't explore it. We just don't explore it. Michael has talked about sucking Juan's penis, that being one of his desires, that he wants to put Juan's BBC in his mouth. He has talked about going on having a bachelor weekend getaway with him and it just being him. Remember that part? Just the two of us. Like, he's in love with this man and we just won't explore it. We just will not explore it. The way he talks about Juan is the way he should talk about his wife. But we just, act like we don't know what's going on here. And if you go on TikTok, there's this girl on TikTok who talks about the wealthy communities that she grew up in and how all the dads are sleeping with each other. Child, she was like, all them wealthy fathers are sleeping with each other. Anyway, I just think that it's just odd that we just don't explore that. Because even in a confessional where they were asking Ashley about, her husband's obsession with Juan, she's just like, oh, I think it's just the bromance. Okay, girl. It's just a bromance. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about with Potomac. What do you guys think? Where are we at? We're at 2. I think I'm going to wrap it up. With Salt Lake. Because I think we've been here a minute. So not sure. You know what? Let me see. Let me look at my Salt Lake notes. See if I can talk about a few things from there. If I can talk about a few things from Salt Lake, I'll maybe throw these ladies in here. I'll talk about Salt Lake quickly. Yeah, we'll get Salt Lake out of here real quickly. Let's see what you guys have to say. So Steph, what's up? Said Giselle's kids are the only thing I can deal with concerning her. Listen, her and Jamal didn't work out, but they got great kids. Great, smart young women. Kyra, hey sis, said, yes, every season we see those children say the same thing. And Gizzard goes to therapy and nothing changes. I'm telling you, when that therapist says she was cold, I like to have fell out of my chair. Oh my goodness. Shed Pearl said a hair salon for the whole family. Did you shave her daughter's hair? I ain't say nothing. JG says she can't talk about them dating because people will literally read her for trying to give advice when she can't find love herself. It's already been said when Grace said the boys come to her. Ciao. Angela said, I think what they are doing to me as mom is shameful. They brought that woman on for her storyline. That's what it's giving to me too, Angela. That's what it's giving to me too. And I also think that Mia should probably go to therapy with her mom because I feel like she loves her mom, absolutely, and she wants her mom in her life. But I think that she needs to sit down with somebody who can help her navigate the relationship with her mom, because I also feel like Mia is very mad at her mom for her childhood and wants to punish her in some kind of way. That's why it's so easy for her and, you know, Mr. G to drag her mom so easily, because it's just like, is she really, do you want her to be successful, or do you want to have another reason to be like, see, this is why I should have never trusted you? It's like you're always looking for a reason to get at this woman. And if that's the case, don't act like you forgave her. That is okay to be upset with somebody who deeply hurt you. It's going to take time if you want to, you know, be in a continue a relationship with them or start some kind of relationship. But if, you know, your mother has deeply hurt you, it's okay to have time away from her. And maybe you did have time away from her, but maybe you brought her into your life because you thought it was, and I just got to be honest here, because you thought it was better for you on this show to have something to talk about outside of your May-December relationship. And I see you talk more about your mother than how you met your husband and the dynamics of that. And maybe that is, you know, strategy. I'm not sure, but it's like, did you forgive the woman or not? If you forgave her, you got to start fresh and move forward. If you didn't forgive her, that is your prerogative. But don't bring her on this show, drag her, set her up to fail, and then try to make it seem like if she, you know, something bad happens to her concerning her addiction, that it's somebody else's fault. You really have to be responsible for that and own that, because ain't nobody on this show dragging your mama like you dragging your mama. Let me go to.
They said this the late crew tonight.
This the late crew.
You're not leaving us. We up now.
Nashika said, I think Michael lost interest in Ashley as soon as she became a mom. I happen to agree with you. He wants the wild multiple partner sex life they had before that. Ashley probably said she always be into till she got a ring. I happen to agree with you. I think Ashley became a mom and all of a sudden, some people said, do Salt Lake, we already here. I think Ashley became a mom and all of a sudden it was, oh, I don't want to do those things anymore. But if that was a setup of your relationship, if that was a reason why he gave you a ring and, you know, made you his wife because he knew that that would be his lifetime, that setup, because remember, he said he ain't want no more kids. And that's what he thought. He thought he got this young wife that he could do all this freaky stuff with, and that be it, because his kids are grown. They're older than Ashley. So he didn't want children, but all of a sudden she wanted kids, and all of a sudden she didn't want to do those things anymore. And I feel like it's all, you know, a very good setup to get out of, you know, a situation you didn't want to be in the first place. But got to get that coin. That's what it's given, because word on the street is she might be getting out of this relationship. And to that I say, good for her. Good for her. JG said, I'm just tired of people arguing on Giselle like they can look at their own mom and parents as great relationship examples. Her story is more relatable than people want to be honest about. I believe that too. I just think it's just not a good look. Every season, your kids are telling you you're a terrible example of a relationship. I mean, girl, stop asking for their advice. Hey, Marion. Marion said, oh, at NikkiStar TV, that is a great perception about me and her mom. Makes so much sense. I went through something similar with my mom. Oh, wow. There it is. There it is. Yeah, New Mommy D said that man already lived a family life. He wanted a freaking leak. That's what he thought he got. That's what he thought he got. So Steph said all of a sudden Ashley felt her bag being threatened. That's why she had them kids, because he asked for, remember on camera, he asked to like revise the prenup. Okay. Porshekula said, when she talks about her father, she doesn't speak the same way. She describes him in a good light. Yep. When he's the one who introduced her to drugs. Yeah. But I think that happens a lot. Like, I think kids romanticize the deadbeat parent because they're not there or they weren't there. So you can have this fantasy about what life would have been like if they were there, and you demonize the parent that stayed. That's happens very often. Very, very often. Kyra said, yes, but Michael does not play games. Made her add clauses to their prenup, but when it was time for her post-nup, they never did it. So she had them babies. See, this is the thing. Prenup or not, she's still going to have her hands in his legacy, right? Because she got 2 of his children. So unless he writes those kids out of his will, which I don't think he will, because it won't, I just feel like as a businessman, especially in Potomac, it won't work well for him, right? It's just like, oh, you cut the black kids out, or the one that got black ancestry, but the white kids is getting everything, right? It's just bad for business all around. But again, he won't even be here to care about that, if he does do that. But, like things could happen. Things could happen. There was a huge story about a kid out here from a really wealthy family who was cut out of his dad's will because he was a child of an affair. And although the father was in his life, because he was a child of an affair, the wealthy family cut him out and said that he is not liable to receive anything because he's the child of an affair and not. Oh, you know what? I think you know who it is. It's Elizabeth Hurley's son. His dad comes from a billionaire family, and his father committed suicide. And everything that he had went to his children except for him, because the billionaire family said that he was a child born out of wedlock. So he does not deserve the money. And as for now, it's been held up. So Elizabeth has been the one, taking care of that man now for all of his life. The dad, ever since the dad passed away, that family has not given them a dime. And I mean, the kid is okay. The guy is okay because his mama is pretty well off, but she ain't no billionaire. And she's still fighting. Elizabeth is still fighting for her son to get his inheritance. Some people said he wouldn't know Juan his true love without Ashley. There you go. I wonder how much he's going to leave Juan in his will. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sup people. I wouldn't be surprised if he gives it all to Juan. Then can we finally talk about it, Andy? Ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Kyra said, since the wide body comment forehead be staying on TikTok showing us all the rhythms she doesn't have. She loves that TikTok. Good for her. Virgo said, also, girls are closer to their father. They romanticize them, and he was there to some extent. So can't blame Mia. No, you can blame Mia. She's grown. She's grown. JG said, Michael gives vindictive. He will paint Ashley as mental and leave the kids with his older kids or something. Never underestimate people. I wouldn't be shocked. Kyra said, yes, child support is a separate issue. Even that can be played with, aka Rick Ross. But Ashley by herself, child. Wait a minute. Let me get Miss T. Miss T said, this is why it's very important that everybody has a will in place. I absolutely agree. His kids are like in their 40s. like late 40s. He got old children. He has like big and grown. Shed Pearl said Michael will pay off Juan's debt. I think he already did that. I think he already did that. Anyway, let's get into Salt Lake City and let me get y'all out of here. Let's get into Salt Lake City and let me get y'all out of here. Let's get into Jenny, and her hot husband, right? Allegedly, Jenny and her hot husband, the guy that she says is handsome from the neck down. Who says that about their husband? Ciao. You know what? Let me stand up. My sister has these still chairs. They are killing my behind. Ooh. Yeah. No, I'm not sitting on the pillow. These chairs hurt my butt. Hey, let's groove tonight. That's what Ashley was doing. That is possible. That's what she was doing. Giselle was terrible. Giselle is in no way a dancer. Anyway, let's get into Salt Lake. So, no, I'm doing it live.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
Stars live.
So anyway, the husband is hot from the neck down, right? Allegedly concerning her niece. This is all fake and this is just storyline, and they're just using this to get on the show, right? If that's the case, I don't care. Here is why. At least they're showing up to work. At least they're showing up to work. We are talking about polygamy. We're talking about Mormonism. We're talking about the Vietnamese culture. We're talking about multiple miscarriages and, having children after 40. Like, they're giving us something. They're giving us something to discuss. So even if it's fake, at least they have multiple storylines going on. Like, even if it's fake, if you're showing up to work, I'm gonna rock with you. So I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that being fake. And since we're here, let's talk about Jenny's niece. I don't know if your mother put you up to this. I don't know if it was you, if you're just trying to get your way onto the show. But let me tell you something. You trying to pull the Kathy Wakili route of getting on, or the Teresa, or not the Teresa, what's her name? Melissa and Joe Gorga route of getting on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm telling you right now, it will not work in your favor. Here is why. Now, I think that Bravo noticed Jenny's niece, right? Saying that, first of all, I have some tea about the housewife. One of these housewives on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The tea is that everything she's doing is fake. This is all storyline. None of this is really happening. She has no problems in her relationship and they're not trying to have children. And the only reason why I know this tea is because one of the ladies that I'm talking about is my aunt. Now, can we just be real? Sis, you're Asian. Who is your aunt? Who is your aunt? My mom's sister. Who is your aunt? Mary Crosby? Heather? Whitney? Who could it be? Who could it be? Like, stop playing. Stop playing, right? So it was very obvious that you were trying to be very obvious about who your aunt was. If this is the way you're trying to get on the show, I'm telling you, it might get you and your mother on the show. Doesn't mean that you and your mother are going to stay on the show, because if Jenny is more interesting, if Jenny is more of a powerful housewife, then your mother will probably have 1 or 2 seasons. And the next thing you know, you're on Instagram selling pastries to your followers because you cannot get another season on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Hello, Kathy Wakili.
Not selling pastries.
She's all over Instagram trying to sell them pastries. All over Instagram trying to sell them pastries when she had a cush job being on the show. But she tried to come for Teresa Giudice, who is newly engaged. Congrats, sis. I don't know if it's a smart move, but you seem like the wife kind of, woman. I feel like Teresa can't be nobody's girlfriend. Teresa needs to be a wife. Congrats. I don't know if it's a good move, but you know what? Not my business. Congrats. Congrats. But it's not a good move to scam your way onto the show that way. Because at the end of the day, y'all still family. So with this show is going to come and go. And when it goes, your family is going to be even more fractured than when they started off, you know, before you did all this mess to try to get, you know, your TikTok followers up and to try to get your mother or you on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Girl, it's not going to work in your favor, but Bravo is going to take notice. Bravo is going to take notice, and Bravo is going to probably reach out to you, or maybe one of the housewives that don't like your mama is going to reach out to you and try to get like your aunt is going to reach out to you and maybe get you on the show, and you know, you might actually end up on the show, but at what cost? At what cost? It will, that going that route will never work in your favor. Just be interesting. Just be interesting. But instead, you got to be shady. And now, even if there was a minor divide, you made this divide so large. Who knows if your mother and her sister are ever going to speak again? You done took your little behind and got involved in your mother and your aunt's feud. Now you done made it worse because, you know, you don't know if one of them probably wanted to make up and just needed one more Christmas, you know, to kill their pride before they're able to come together and be like, you know what, sis? I was being petty. Now you'd have made this a lot bigger than what it probably was because you want TikTok followers. You need to stay in a child's place and mind your business and let your mother and your aunt figure it out. But here you go, getting in grown folks' business, and it made this situation worse than it probably was because you're mad that your aunt is on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and she ain't brought you on. Half of she may never bring you on. If Bravo like her more than they like you and your messy behind, you will never see the light of day on that show. Even if you are brought on by another housewife. If Bravo likes Jenny more, your stuff will be on the cutting room floor. Hope them TikTok likes was worth it, little Missy. Hope it was worth it. Anyway, like I said, if Jenny and Hot Husband from the neck down, if they're faking storyline, I don't care because they're giving us material. They're giving us content. I'm not bothered by it. The caterer and her husband came on the show to debunk the poor man's Adele storyline about Lisa trying to, you know, mess up the catering for her event for her trans child. Listen, I told y'all last review, I said it was good for Lisa to speak out against that. Listen, even if she had to go so far as to bring the caterer and her husband on the show, whatever you got to do it, right? Because the way the poor man's Adele, Angie, that's her name. I think that's her name. The way Angie made it seem like she left it open for the interpretation of, hey, did Lisa cancel this because she's anti-LGBT? Like, you leave that door open. So then Lisa comes out and she's just like, my grandfather is gay. And I'm like, let's stop there. Can we explore that? Seriously, like, we're talking about everything else, but can we talk about the gay Mormon Jewish grandfather? I want to know that story. Was he out? Like, what's going on? Like, that is an interesting storyline. But even if, you know, the caterer and her husband, even if they were just seen in a flashback, I'm with Lisa. I've been said that she has to do what she has to do to fix that situation. Because when you leave it open for the audience to be like, oh, why would she cancel the catering event? Why would she interfere? What does that mean? So I'm with Lisa. Bring on the caterer and her husband. I will say, the caterer and her husband, they seem more thirsty than Angie to get on this show. I mean, I can't stand a thirsty adult. They were so thirsty. I can't believe she said that. Oh my goodness, that was a lie. Lisa would never. Y'all doing the most. Y'all are doing the most. And I know that everybody, let's talk about this. But I still stand with Lisa. She should have did what she had to do to fix it, even if her evidence was in a flashback. I would have done the same thing. Let's get to this ski trip. I know that everybody was dragging Angie's Kill Bill snowsuit, but I loved it. I loved her whole look. I love the Kill Bill snowsuit. I love the 70s hair. I thought it was extra and cute because I'm extra and cute. So I didn't have a problem with it. I loved it. Let's get to Mary and Lisa getting into it. Did Mary overreact to Lisa's joke? Yes. Am I glad that she overreacted and got Lisa together? Absolutely. Here is why. Lisa does that all the time. Lisa is always saying something underhanded about somebody and then saying, oh my God, I was just joking. Like, calm down. Oh yeah. That's why I do these by myself.
Your impersonation.
Calm down. It's not that serious, girlfriend. Like, Lisa does that often, right? And she says stuff about people and gets away with it by calling it, oh, I was joking. I didn't mean it that serious. It wasn't like that. Calm down. No, you need to be checked. You need to be checked because you're actually coming at people to their face. And when you're confronted, you say it was a joke and that they overreacted. You're gaslighting. And Mary was not going to allow that heifer to gaslight her. So she got her together. Really? You have to Google everything that I say, Lisa? Really? So what do you mean? What do you mean? I loved it. I said, get it together, Mary. Because nobody gets Lisa together. But Mary got Lisa together. It was a lot. It was real. I know I don't like that. Why do you have to do that? Is it because I'm Black, Mary? If it was anybody else, I would have been like, yeah, let her know. But Mary, you saying that Lisa has to Google everything because you're Black. Since when? Since when, mama? Aren't you the one that goes to a different 7-Eleven if you see Negroes hanging out in the front? You can't, you can't be Black when it's convenient, Miss Candace Owen. You can't. Like, you can't be Black when it's time for you to prove a point or sue somebody. You Black 24/7, even when you're walking by Black men into a 7-Eleven. Anyway, I am still glad that Mary got Lisa together. I really, really am, because Lisa needs it. Lisa needs to be checked. And her little feelings was hurt. And she was just like, if you ever do that to me again, we're going to have a problem. And Mary was just like, what problem are we going to have? What? Tell me, Lisa. Like, that was a good little matchup. I was actually here for it, because Lisa's little slick mouth needs to be checked from time to time. Let me see. Oh, wait, hold on.
I gotta be a part of your studio audience more.
No, you are distracting me. But I will say this: I do see two sides of this demon, right? I do see that Mary using her Blackness when it's convenient. But I also see Lisa needing to be checked in that sense of, is it because I'm Black, right? Because although that may not be what Lisa was doing, you're on this platform and you're discrediting everything that a Black woman is saying. So even if that's not your intention behind doing it, it needs to be called out, because that happens a lot, especially to Black women. Black women can say something like, this is how something is done, and it will be checked a million times over, or, or something will be said to a non-Black person to make sure that what this Black person is saying, right? I don't think that Lisa was doing that to Mary because Mary is Black. Lisa does that to everybody. But Lisa checking her in that moment and saying that you're discrediting everything. Why are you discrediting everything I say? Is it because I'm Black? I think is a valid point to say on this platform, because that is something that a lot of Black women can, or a lot of Black people can identify with. with our word not being good enough. We have to, like, our point of view, our facts, everything has to be taken to another person, specifically a white person, to see if this is actually true. Like if we say something about our history and this is like what actually happened to us, somebody would be like, oh, well, I didn't see it in Harvard notebooks. It's not a class taught at Harvard. Or I didn't see this, George Washington didn't say that happened in his biography. Why the hell are we going to George Washington talking about Black history? Why do we need his opinion, right? But that happens a lot. So although I don't think that's what Lisa was doing, like I said, I can see both sides of this demon. Mary using her Blackness when it's convenient, but also a white woman who has been on this show discrediting a Black woman. I don't think it's because she's Black, but her being checked in that moment and saying, are you discrediting everything because everything that I say, because I'm Black, I think is a valid point because it's relatable. But like I said, I see both sides of that demon. I see both sides of that demon. Jenny had a really tough time this episode because she was on this ski trip or tubing trip, whatever there was some snow. She was on this trip the day, this was the anniversary of her daughter who she lost to a miscarriage. No, she wasn't a miscarriage. She lived for a while. Her daughter lived for a few months or so, and then she passed away. So this was her daughter's anniversary. And because of that, she was not in the best state of mind, because when Lisa and Mary were getting into it, she jumped in and was like cussing at them and telling them to get it. She does that a lot. Like, do you really know these people to be cussing them out like that? Like, F this, get it together. I want to have fun. This is not what we're doing. And Mary says to her, she's just like, don't curse at me. And Jenny goes off on Mary and says, I can say whatever I want. Don't. Jenny does this a lot. Jenny, I don't, where are you from? Because you, don't, who you talking to? Mary, not me. Okay, girl. But she went off on Mary and said, I'm having a bad day. This is not the day. Don't talk to me. If you keep on talking to me like that, I will F you up because I'm having a bad day. I understand having a bad day, having a short temper, not being in the mood. To that, I say, don't attend the event. Terrible what happened to you. This is a rough time for you right now. Maybe you could have missed this group event. Maybe you could have missed this one, because even through your pain, I don't see you being right. You still were wrong to me with how you went off on Lisa and Mary, and then continue to go after Mary and use the excuse of, I'm having a bad day because this is the anniversary of my daughter's death. I understand. Still does not make you right. You don't know these ladies and you're cussing at them and saying, get it to F together. We're here to have an effing good time. And I don't want to be dealing with you ladies fighting because I'm going through, like, you were just wrong, Jenny. You were wrong. And to use the excuse of this is the anniversary of your child. I understand. Still doesn't make it right. Right? Still doesn't make it right. And the fact that you never saw throughout the whole episode that you were wrong, you still justify the fact that you were in pain and that it was okay for you to do it. Like, you never apologized to Mary or even to the ladies for blowing up like that. Your whole thing was, I'm having a really tough time, so that is why I did that. Okay, do you think that what you did was right? Like, that's what I was looking for. And she never acknowledged it. And Mary paid her dust when she was talking about her situation, because Mary didn't like that. Mary was just like, you were wrong. Like, why did you talk to me like that? Anyway, later in the episode, Lisa and Mary squashed their beef. And then here goes Angie trying to jump in on Lisa and Mary getting closure in their situation. Angie jumps in and tries to get closure. And I will say this about Lisa. Lisa speaks her mind and stands by it. Lisa don't hold nothing back. Lisa is the kind of girl who will not talk about you behind your back. She will say it to your face. Lisa said, unless there's an apology, I don't know what else to say. Because she was just like, Angie, you can say it was a misunderstanding and all of that, but unless you apologize to me, I don't want to move forward with you. And I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with Lisa. She said, unless there's an apology attached to this closure conversation, we'll need to talk. And I absolutely agree. So yeah, at this point, Angie and Lisa have no closure because Angie won't apologize. Listen, Angie, it's obvious at this point that you really wanted to be on the show. I'm not going to drag you because let's be real. There are very few women that Bravo went after. A lot of these ladies have auditioned to be on this show several times until they were able to get a position. Lisa Rinna, Marlo, Angie, Jenny. Jenny auditioned a bunch of times. Kathy Wakili, Melissa and Joe Gorga. Their biggest issue with Teresa was that she would never recommend them for the show. Joe and Melissa did not get on the show because Teresa recommended them. That's their biggest issue with her. She did not want her family to be on the show. That's their biggest issue with her. Who else? Like a lot of these ladies auditioned to be on this show. Denise from the Real Housewives, Denise Richards, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They hated her. Why? Because not only did Bravo seek her out, they were seeking her out for years. When she finally agreed, she got on her first season, and she was going to get it on her second season, $1 million. None of them heifers is currently getting $1 million. None of them is getting $1 million, and they've been on that show for 10 years. They hated the fact that this woman got $1 million on her first season, and she had not done a decade of embarrassing herself on Bravo. They hated that, but that's what Bravo has to give these ladies who they are going after. They went after Garcelle. Now, I don't think Garcelle got $1 million like Denise, but I think that she is getting probably what Kyle and all them other heifers is getting, because when they seek you out, you have a different way of bargaining and negotiating your pay. So a lot of these ladies who don't have that, who don't have Bravo chasing after them, chase after Bravo. So I'm not going to drag Angie because, her or Jenny, because they were very thirsty to get on the show. A lot of people are. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There's one lady who I really wanted to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but she's so freaking thirsty. She was actually testing for the show. And before she even got the go-ahead that she was going to be the first Black housewife before Garcelle on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, before she even signed her contract, she had her publicist leak that she was added to the cast, and that turned Bravo off, so they never sent her a contract. She's a Black baroness or something like that, but she had been auditioning to be on the show for years, and she really wanted it. And, because she leaked that she would be on the show, Bravo did not send her out a contract. So there are a lot of women, wealthy women, who want to be on this show because it's a show where you can get fame. And what's the use of having all that money if nobody knows you have it? Right? So I'm not going to drag Angie for that, but I will say it speaks a lot to your character, because if we say it about Lisa Rinna, we got to say it about Angie. For you to throw away a 20-year friendship for a storyline on a reality TV show says a lot about you. And I would not be surprised or mad at Lisa if she doesn't want to engage in any kind of friendship with you, because how could she trust you ever again? So you threw away 20 years to be a friend of a show on a reality TV show. I'm not mad at Lisa. I am not mad at Lisa. What do you think? Marianne said, I remember Andy asking Lisa, I'm cutting up a honeycomb. I remember a chocolate covered honeycomb. I remember Andy asking Lisa and Denise Richards to be on the show every time They were on Watch What Happens Live. Lisa who? Lisa Rinna? Because she was one of the first people who tested, and they didn't hire her. I think Lisa tested for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills audition like 3 times before they actually brought her on. So are we talking about Lisa Rinna? Hey, Drewski. Drewski said, I think Jenny just wanted a good time, and that's why she went. I don't think she even saw herself. That I can agree with. That I can agree with, right? Because just like we were talking about with Nene, when somebody is mourning, you take everything they do with a grain of salt, right? My issue with Jenny was that she just never acknowledged that her behavior was just like she was justifying lashing out at the women. Like, the thing about it is, you are aware that you lashed out, but you're not aware that it's wrong, and you're saying that they need to accept it because you're mourning. You also didn't have to come. You also didn't have to come. So that's my thing. My girl. Have you guys ever had chocolate covered honeycomb? Dark chocolate? It's the best thing ever. Where's the camera? It's the best thing ever. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Hey. So Steph. I had to read that first. So Steph said, Jenny probably has black boyfriends back in the day until her family got tired and set her up with her husband. Maybe that's why she don't find him attractive. Girl. I do. I think it's a cutie. So Steph also said, Jenny seems thirsty enough to say anything to be on the show. But in terms of that child dying, those were real tears. Absolutely. Absolutely. New Mommy D said, Jenny had me and Mary effed up because who was she talking to? Right? Right? Marianne said, I sort of checked out of Salt Lake City. I'm going to give it another try, but after the first episode this season, I don't know. Yeah, I heard Salt Lake City picks up when Jen gets arrested. So it's going to be dry until Jen gets arrested. Thank you. Portia said, I tell you what, Jenny better not make Lisa mad. You know, Lisa would bring that niece on camera. Absolutely. Absolutely. Missy said, it could be Wendy. She's related to everybody. But that girl was so descriptive. You're doing a polygamy storyline. She's also talking about miscarriages. She's also Asian and my aunt. Girl. Marianne said, I don't think Teresa should get married. We don't need papers. We don't need papers, just be in a relationship. I agree, but I think that Teresa's a lot like Wendy Williams. And Wendy Williams said, I'm not a girlfriend kind of woman. I need to be a wife. I think that's what Teresa is. I think that's what Teresa is. I think Teresa needs to be a wife. She can't be a girlfriend. I'm like, girl, you have money, you have book deals, you have so much stuff set up. You've paid off your debt. You have your girls that you have to leave stuff to. Why would you mix up all of that with another partner? Like, girl, just be a girlfriend. Marriage, listen, we have come to find out that marriage is not what y'all tried to make us believe it is in the movies. It normally is always horrible for a woman. It normally is not the best deal for a woman. This ain't the 50s no more. We can get a job. Child. Miss T said, I'm sure some YouTuber want to interview her, talk about Jenny's niece, just like they did Mary's family. Yeah, you won't find that over here. I see that scam from a mile away. Listen, we dip our toe in the mess. We do not submerge our body and go deep diving. Absolutely not. JG said, also, I seen clips of Joe Gorga's comedy show at Caroline's this weekend in New York. It was so sad to watch, to say the least. Drunk, not one joke told, stumbling and just a mess. I think I might have my friend Kyra on this show because she went to Sonia's cabaret. She went to Sonia's cabaret show and she was just like, she got called up to be Sonia's assistant. Sonia actually posted her on her Instagram. She got called up to be Sonia's assistant and she was just like, oh, it was she was like, it was a mess. She was all over the place, but it was so great because it was Sonia. Sonia was drinking and she was just like, it was something else. And I was like, I'm so jealous. I wish that I was there. I may have her on to talk about her experience. What's up? Give Me Shelter. Give Me Shelter said, oh, hey, Nikki, hey, chat. Hello in advance to the rewatch crew. What's up? What's up? What's up? New Miami D said, I'm confused about the catering story because online the caterers have a totally different story than on the show. I feel like the wife caterer is trying to get on the show. I feel like that's what she's doing. I feel like she's trying to get on the show because you have filmed on the show. You keep on posting about it on Instagram. Like, we get it. We get it. Bravo. We'll take notice of a thirsty person because you do want to cast somebody who is so desperate to be on the show because you know that they will do just about anything. And that means you'll have a compliant cast member, somebody who won't fight you, who will do what you need for them to do so you can have a good show. So I won't say that thirsty people do not get picked for these shows. They absolutely do. But you cannot be annoying, right? You can't be annoying to them. So, girl, play your position, hang around, get invited to Stuff by Lisa, mix it up with Angie, and you might be able to get on the season. But don't be too thirsty because that'll make them run. Be thirsty enough to grab their attention, but not too thirsty to make them take off running. Thank you. JL said Jenny's niece did not even give a juicy enough tea on TikTok to be featured on the show, in my opinion. Yeah. Give Me Shelter said, not the gay Mormon and Jewish family member. I need to get into the PhD program for free. Listen, when Lisa said that, I'm like, can we explore that? That's very interesting. I want to know his story. I would definitely watch his Netflix series. A series about his life. It already seems very interesting. Let's talk. JG said, Lisa is smart. I absolutely agree. The restaurant people didn't execute well, but points were made. Agreed. I do too. Missy said, I love that Whitney called them out in the scene and not in the confessional. I love that too. Whitney was like, this is a setup and I'm not going to be okay with it. You brought me here to set me up to hear this side of the story. I think that at this point, the ship has sailed for Lisa and Whitney. I don't see them becoming friends anymore. I think that Lisa has done too much to Whitney for her to ever trust her again. And I think this is going to be one of those Candace and Ashley kind of feuds that's just going to go on and on and on because these two will never be friends. Oh, thank you, Robin. Robin said, you are extra and cute. I'll take it. Happy to make it live. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. So Steph said, Lisa's the textbook gaslighter. I don't know why y'all don't see it. Oh, I see it. Give Me Shelter said, shout out to Toya, the best co-host in the business.
And that's on period. I'm here representing the Star family.
That's right.
Thanks
That's
for
right.
NikkiStar TV.
Missy said, is Lisa responsible for bringing the cast to Bravo? Lisa didn't give me nothing last season, and this season she is trying to have a story. Yeah, she was the one who presented this group of ladies to Bravo. So I guess that's why she feels like she should have some kind of loyalty, but the ladies don't care. The ladies don't care. Hey, Mary CR said, it happens a lot, especially in the workforce. Yes. when Black women are, when their words are not given any weight. Marion said, I don't know if Lisa is responsible for bringing the girls to the show. Wasn't Lisa friends with Bethany Frankel? Well, yeah, I think it was even said on the reunion, and Heather brought it up, that Lisa feels like they should bow down to her because she recommended this cast to Bravo. Poor Shekula said, as a woman/mother, I empathize and sympathize with Jenny. But if you're having a bad day or grief-stricken, keep your A home, because that doesn't mean you can take it out on me. Absolutely agree. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm waiting for us to get there, Miss T. I don't know when that's coming up, but she also accuses Whitney of being racist. I want to see where she's going to get that from. I honestly feel like Heather's going to say something about BBC and Mary's going to take that as being racist. I feel like that's coming. I feel like that's coming. I feel like that's coming. Give Me Shelter said, I play Salt Lake City in the background. Y'all let me know when Jen gets hauled in by the FBI. That's when I think the show is going to pick up, guys. That's where I feel like that's coming. When the show picks up, it's going to be Jenny getting arrested. Drewski said, I think Jenny just wanted a good time. Oh, yeah, I got that. I agree with you. I really, really do. Hey, Mocha 2K said, Lisa tried to show me receipts. Lisa tried to show me receipts on Twitter about Angie. They didn't make sense. Really? You got a relationship with Lisa? Let's talk. So Steph said, Marlo auditioned so much and only got a peach because Cynthia and Portia is not coming back. Yeah, I hope she delivers. I hope she delivers. JG said, that's why Bravo needs to stop disclosing the pay and stop overpaying these big names, but continuing to push out their household names that are now pricey because they make the show. Yeah, I absolutely agree. But nobody on Beverly Hills is worth $600,000 or more. I feel like everybody in Atlanta should be getting like $3 million. Those are the only ones. And now I think that Potomac needs to be in the millions. I really, really do. So Steph says, so Lisa is the Nene of Salt Lake City? Yep. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Anyway, family, let me get out of here. We've been on here for a very long time. And I got to rest up because I have gotta have so many lives tomorrow. Join me tomorrow for Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance. I may throw the Family Chantel in there and then Love After Lockup. If I can find...
I'm supporting NikkiNicoleStar TV.
Well, let me get my statement out. Okay. If I can find the latest version of the live version of... Love at the Lockup. I was about to say Married at First Lockup. If I can find that, then I'll also come back later in the night. That will be 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I can find the latest version of that, if I can find it on YouTube TV, I'll watch it. If not, I'll be doing a live for the latest episode of Love After Lockup on Saturday afternoon, East Coast time. But I want to say thank you all for joining me. This was so last minute. I wasn't going to do it.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Star Family.
I wasn't going to do it because it was so late, but you guys showed up and you showed out. And I am the luckiest girl in the world. I have the best subscribers. Thank you.
Yes, you did. Give it up for the subscribers. Yay.
Thank you all so much. It's 3 a.m. here. I'm still on West Coast time, right? And as soon as I get back to LA, I'm going to be on East Coast time. Anyway, Let me go to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, thank you so much for joining me.
Bye.
Let me get out of here so my sister can go to bed. I love y'all. I don't know why she's still in here minding my business. Love y'all. And I will see you all soon.
Thanks for the super chat.
Bye. Bye, family. I will see you. Virgo said, Toya, you better join the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I like your personality from afar.
I love you. I love all of NikkiStar's subscribers.
Don't gas her. Don't gas her.
I might make an appearance.
You know what? You should come on here and talk about the shows that you're doing. Yeah, I can interview you.
You can interview me, but Nikki, I can't give them no tea now.
Oh, if you can't give them no tea, you can't come on here. Anyway, love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.